here from Fiji, the first country that is going to be ringing in the new year. And to ring in the new year, we are here with the final group of WTL. Not the final day yet. That's going to be tomorrow. But we are going to be kicking off our final sort of matches of the group states starting today. I am, of course, your host Yaku of the Zaku, and with me today is El Capitán de los Patos, que reparte mucha suerte, Light _ VIP. How we doing, Light?
Happy New Year's Eve! Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. Welcome. What better to do than to be here to cast some amazing, beautiful StarCraft, especially a night of StarCraft where the CranKy Ducklings will be playing. For the time being, we have, a bit of a warm-up, a bit of a pre-game going to be going on here, a bit of a show match cap-up between these two teams. But two still very amazing teams in their own right here in the final week of World Team League.
Indeed we are. And we are going to be starting with, I think, a team that, in my opinion, has really gone back and forth a lot. Not quite in this group stage, but, in Code A and qualifiers and just in general over there in the Chinese region. Invictus Gaming versus SSLT.
Oh, let's go IG versus SSLT. Yes, exactly. I believe these two teams, neither one can make it into the playoffs at the moment, but they're still vying for the ranking. They're still seeing who can come out on top of who here. And I think this is still pretty competitive because these two teams host some of the best players in all of China.
They really, really do. I mean, we're getting a little bit of a preview here. Oh, never mind. The screen just switched. But yes, we are getting a bit of a preview, kicking it off with XY here, representing IG, the Mindset King.
Yes, the mind of the king. Here we go. One of the only players with a 10 in Mindset and not much anywhere else. As he's going to be going up against TooDming.
Yeah, a little bit more balance coming in here. Got more of a C rank to him.
Yeah, exactly. We got the D going up against the C. And one of the great things about World Team League, we haven't been able to cast for a couple of weeks. We should have also said that. This was postponed for a week, due to other events going on. It was also postponed due to Home Story Cup as well the week before. So it's been a little bit. We have had a little bit of a break, but it's great to be back here. And the first maps are not chosen by the players. They are predetermined by the admins.
They are. We are going with Loser's Choice once again, I believe. Yes, Loser's Choice once again. Mm-hmm. And we're going to kick it off on Stargazers, which, especially in a Terran matchup, in any matchup, but especially when there's a Terran player involved, we have seen some very cheeky memes on this particular map in WTL.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We even saw XY. I was actually talking to Asher about this yesterday, I believe, or the day before. XY even went so far as to go for a Thor drop build on Stargazers and was actually able to win against a Protoss. So, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be seeing that again here, but maybe. I can dream.
Yeah, I choose to believe it as well. Got that Honmono spirit infecting everyone.
Oh yeah, the porridge is just right.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah, this is gonna be pretty interesting. It's gonna be a bit of a TVZ. We haven't seen too much of TooDming either. He has been a bit of a mainstay here for SSLT. Oh boy. All right, mate. Predictions.
Yes. Predictions.
Who you putting money on?
I, as always, every single time, am putting that money on XY.
Oh.
The original time, or should I say Oliveira.
Is he the OG Oliveira? Is he?
I mean, might have to think about that a little bit.
XY is one of the older players. I think the oldest player in the region.
The oldest one who is currently active, I believe. Yeah, he's been playing ever since the early days of Wings of Liberty, alongside with the likes of, Silky. I think Jim came a little bit after that, but yeah, out of all of them, XY is the one who's still standing.
Yeah, maybe that's why his mind is so big, because he's so old.
Yeah, he's wise.
Yeah. So maybe is it something that like his brain will keep the hexagon will keep growing. He'll keep getting points the older he gets.
He will. It'll break out through the hexagon
He'll
eventually.
kill him.
It'll. Yeah. His brain was too big.
Oh my god. XY, Papi, be careful. Ay. He's going to do something to reduce the brain, and that's a bit of a tease as to what's going to be happening later on in the evening.
Yep.
The brains will be reduced.
Yep.
Oh boy. I thought you were going to
I got it all.
Go on.
Well, there have been talks a little bit throughout the week, and even throughout WTL as well. The lovely caster Asher, who has been the regular WTL caster, has finally consolidated a couple of rules, which I don't think have been made public yet. A couple of rules for the WTL drinking game.
He's written up a list of ways to kill us.
Yes. And if he does eventually make that public here to the chat, I would like to encourage everyone to share in the misery, because if we're gonna have to go through this, so do all of you.
Yeah, that'll be for later on in the night. Then later on, we're not starting early, mate. We're not starting early. We've got like potentially a 4-hour cast. We're not gonna kick things off with some shots, mate.
I got ready, but then I remembered I haven't eaten yet, so I get an excuse to skip out.
Not like this. Also, Kuro's already saying it. Yes, we already have a bit of a delay here. Wait, so Asher has made a drinking game, and this is actually a part of the drinking game, which is if there's ever a delayed match which we have to just drink.
Alrighty then. Well,
no.
Screw this.
Oh god. So yeah, I don't really know what's holding the players up right now.
They're drinking.
It's New Year's Eve, you know?
Yeah.
Like, mate, why not? Oh boy.
Yes, a couple of these. Well, here's the thing. Asher did give us a list, but a couple of these aren't actually elaborated. So one of the rules is the wall is not a wall. Does that mean as long as we don't point it out, we don't need to drink?
Well, the wall is not a wall is specifically when the wall not being a wall is like abused, you know? Like when lings run in or something runs like there's a reason for the wall to be a wall, right? Like
right.
The punish is when we take a shot. Yeah.
We're getting punished for the players' mistakes. And speaking of the players' mistakes, we are going to be jumping right on in here to Stargazer. In the top left-hand corner, we have our blue Terror player coming up from China, representing Invictus aiming XY. I think.
Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Stargazers, representing SSLT. TooDming.
I think the hand of syncing these intros.
Am I crazy? I think this is the first time that you're casting World Team League.
You are crazy, but it is the first time I'm casting World Team League.
There you go. Oh my god. Welcome, Yaku. Welcome to the World Team League, the team league that houses the best teams in the entire world, and that is why we're a part of it.
Yeah. I'm ready to bring out the bias.
Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. And also the events where we also just like perv and look at the players while they play as well.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
that hat. That's why there was a delay. TooDming had to find the right hat.
He covered up as much of his body as possible and blurred out the background as well. This guy,
there's a party going on there over in TooDming's house. He just needed to get everybody to quiet the hell down.
It's like we're casting Piglet again, where he was playing in his Where's Waldo or Where's Wally outfit. Same thing. Like it's just underneath the turtleneck jacket of TooDming.
He's gonna reveal it one by one.
Oh, reveal it, Papi.
Every win.
Oh my god.
He becomes more like Waldo.
Oh god. As Wally, mate. Wally here, okay? We're closer to Australia right now than we are to America. Oh. The XI just took a shot.
From a mug, no less.
He did. Oh god. As so far we have some pretty standard openers. No, that's when players take a shot, we take a shot. I don't think that's healthy.
Well, figure away as the Reaper does come in, just to be a little bit annoying as per usual. XY going for a very standard 1-1-1 by the looks of things.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So far, nothing too crazy from either one of our players. We also had a hatch gas pool coming out from TooDming, so likewise, we don't really see too much aggression coming out from him. I guess the biggest thing of note right now is that TooDming actually hasn't gone for a third hatchery. We do see XY checking just because it's a little bit peculiar, but there we go. Finally, the third is going to be taken a little bit later than what we're used to.
Yeah, part of me wonders if that's just because TooDming wanted to be a bit more cautious, or yeah, if he was just a little bit frazzled by the Reaper.
Oh, yeah, I have to wonder here. So TooDming, he ends up staying on two bases a little bit longer. He's already in position to deny any kind of scout. Is he doing anything crazy with this kind of delayed third base? Not really. We see just nothing but droning, but there we go. He's going straight for a very fast lair.
Oh yeah. And I'm keeping my eye on the gas counts right now, light up. Because we've seen time and time again on Stargazers, sometimes Zerg players like to go for early Roach Warrens. More often than not, they like to go for the Nidus.
Yeah, I mean, so far we have a second gas being taken right now. There is no scout of that layer. Shout out to the lovely observer pointing that out. I imagine this still feels a little bit like a Spire play, especially on Stargazers. But we'll see as back across the map, XY did open up 3cc Banshee.
Yeah, this is going to help him a ton if it is going to be a Nidus, but if it is Mutas, like you were mentioning, Banshees do not have the ability to shoot up.
Oh, they do not, but they do have the ability to deal some damage across map. There we go. We have confirmation as every single gas is being taken right now. We do have... Go for it.
Two base Mutalisk coming out right now from TooDming. XY is going to scout this. Too little, too late. He's going to have to, try his best to make use of that Banshee before the Mutas actually come into play.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, so far this has been unscouted. So far the Banshees haven't gone across map to deal any economic damage yet. We do see that behind this XY, he's throwing down his additional Raxes. He's going to be transitioning into Bio. But by the time he does, is it going to be too late? Again, I'm waiting for the Banshees. I think he was waiting for a second Banshee before he goes in to deal any damage. Yeah, he's, for the time being, just staying his hand.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be the play, waiting for Cloak to finish up as well.
Yeah,
wants to one-shot these drones while he can.
I mean, because he's waiting so long, the Spire is going to finish. Mutas are going to come out. We already have some spores on the way as well. So TooDming is being very safe. The likelihood of these Banshees dealing damage is pretty low as well because of that. Yeah, I mean, at least XY is going to have plenty that shoots up. He has Stim on the way, but we'll see how many Mutas do come out and how much damage they do.
8 are currently on the way. Detection was already finished up here by TooDming. He did scout the uncloaked Banshee pretty early on.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The Banshees, they are pushed away towards the main base. 8 Mutas are in production with +1 air attack as well. All of this has been hidden from the likes of XY and... I worry because he doesn't have any turrets ready right now, but there we go. The Mutas are revealed.
And right now, he's scrambling to get a couple of defenses up, prioritizing this pocket base that is the base closest to TooDming by air distance, and the turrets will not come up. Only 2 Marines are here to try to defend against this.
Oh, yeah, 3 Marines get targeted down the SCVs as well. We do see XY trying to keep up, but Stim is not done. It finishes up in 7 seconds, but before that happens, a lot of SCVs are going down.
9 of them, to be precise. Stim is utilized, but now there aren't actually enough Marines here to really be enough of a threat. The Mutalisks are going to be chased away by a turret, but the damage has already been done.
And the Mutas, they come across the Hellions as well. They're going to be going down. The tank is looking a little bit exposed, but yeah, there are enough Marines to push these Mutas back. Ooh, a lot of Mutas going down there. TooDming being a little bit careless with his movement.
Yeah, there was some pretty nice micro coming out from TooDming at the start there, but I think he did miscalculate just how many, or rather just how long he could stay getting shot at by those Marines.
Yeah, but he's going to be able to rebuild those meters. He's going to be able to keep XY back at home behind this TooDming. He's taking, oh my god, he's triple expanding. I say triple expanding. He's taking a 4th base and he's throwing down 2 more macro hatcheries as well. That is insane. He behind this, he can work on his upgrades. The downside is, of course, that because he rushed out his lair, because he rushed out his meters, he's going to be stuck on 0-0, and it's going to take a while for him to kick into 1-1.
Yeah, it was very important for him to be able to pick off those Marines while he can. And now he's going to have to see if he can pick off a couple of tanks while he can as well, because XY, it has just started 2-2. He is looking to make a very potent tank push across the map, or mine push.
Yeah, I imagine he's going to want to hit with that 2-2 timing. Before that happens, it looks like he has a double drop set up towards the southern portion of the map. He's going to be waddling across and he's going to try and deal some damage. And I do think he can find some success. He's even going in with what little Hellbats he has, the remaining Hellbats from the start of the game. Can this deal damage? It can, especially because we are lacking quite a bit of creep towards the south.
Yeah, this 4th base is very vulnerable right now for TooDming. He does have a couple of queens, and he's trying to get creep spread out now, but his army is far, far to the north.
Oh, it really is. The meters are completely out of position. The Lings and Banelings as well. One Spotter Marine is going to drag down that army. We have 30 Lings in production. So it looks like we should have enough on the ground to defend, as long as we're able to react in time. As XY, it looks like he's staying his hand a little bit. He's not going in yet. It looks like he wants to set up for a multi-prong harass.
Yeah, might as well. He's pretty close to maxing out. Wait, I'm confused. XY has Zerg upgrades in the overlay.
Oh no, yeah, that's normal here. Yeah, they don't.
Right. Okay.
We do have the Marines stimming on 4-11. Drones are already going to be going down, and maybe even the hatchery as well. It's getting quite low. Oh!
Yeah, and it will be picked off, but this entire army is going to go down as well. There was no chance for XY to pick up and leave. Was it worth it in the end? Kills a base in 16 drones. Just about broke even, I would say.
Oh my god, yeah, a lot of economic damage being done here. We do have the Banshees coming on in. We do have a drop towards the north as well. Looks like this won't be dealing anywhere near as much damage, but you were kind of pointing it out earlier. XY, his supply is insane right now. His worker count is looking very healthy as well. He's just oversaturated.
Is it? I can't actually tell.
The yellow number is the worker, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, but whose workers?
XY's. XY's at 89.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it then.
You can see, no, XY is set up there above,
right, yeah.
But when it comes to production, the production is reversed. The production is reversed.
But then but what about the upgrades?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Have they done that before? Have we just not noticed?
I'm pretty sure that was the case, but we've just never noticed until now.
Has that happened before? That's crazy.
We have to go through every single VOD and every single past broadcast that we have had to pick it out.
I hope Asher's listening to this because this is crazy. As we do see another drop here towards the bottom right-hand corner. Once again, getting 5 more of these drones. Once again, denying another base.
Yeah, well, you have to give it to XY. He has been doing a really good job of dealing economic damage. You know, it's always very risky to go for drops like this, dedicated drops like this, when there are a lot of Mutalists out on the map, but he is doing damage with them. He's just, taking damage as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I was looking, and confirmation, TooDming does have 98 drones. Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
I was paying attention to the production as the drones were coming out, and his number was going up. Oh my god, as we do see the Mutas diving in once again, taking a couple of Thor shots to the face. Do get six SCVs though.
Yeah, not bad damage at all. I think it might have swapped the production now because I'm seeing XY's workers go down.
Yeah. They just switched it. That's why there's no more red under XY. They realize what's wrong. Yeah, let's go.
The planning worked.
You can see it in the production tab as well.
You're welcome, SC boy.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was weird.
I think this was a one-off thing.
Oh my god, we're not even drinking yet, and we're seeing things, mate. Where
Yeah.
none of it makes any sense. As oh boy, we do see XY finally getting his fourth base up and running. This is kind of the real big moment that we were waiting for here for him to finally kind of flex his macro and catch up economically.
Yeah, and he's on 4 bases, which is about the bare minimum that you kind of want as a Terran player in this late game scenario. 5 bases is the win condition, generally speaking, but you can still get away with 4 bases if you're, playing on a more resource efficient army.
Oh, yeah, they really are. And we do see another drop here towards the north. Another base going to be going down. I didn't realize until recently that, okay, there we go. The banelings are finally coming on in. It looks like we are actually working towards ultras as well to accompany TooDming's army.
Yeah, and this is being played on the current patch, so they are, still chunky ultralisks.
Yeah.
But we'll see what effect that actually has here. They're thick.
They really are. So we'll see how many of them do come out. Meanwhile, another base going to be going down to only a single drop of Marauders. Bear that in mind, that was only 4 Marauders, so very well worth it here for XY. He's slowly taking another base. Despite the fact that TooDming, it feels like he's had map control for a long time. It feels like he's been at a very healthy drone count for a long time as well. He's just been having a really hard time keeping up with these drops. He's had a really hard time denying any of XY's bases.
Which is very surprising to think about, because he did go for massive units for a while here. XY somehow every single time has just been able to figure out where TooDming's Mutalisks aren't and send his drops all the way that direction.
It's crazy, it's the equivalent of in TVP if your opponent goes Phoenixes and you go for drops for Widowmine drops anyway. It's like how do you have so much confidence in your ability to be able to get past those mutas and actually deal damage? And that is the mindset of the king.
Yeah, the 10 mindset.
Exactly. He has no fear. We do see finally this double drop is going to be intercepted here by TooDming, but he isn't able to punish it. He just forces it back for the time being. Meanwhile, XY, his ghost count, his tank count, his Thor count, all getting quite insane.
Yeah, not to mention he is starting to get an economy that's healthy enough to sustain all of these. As long as he doesn't trade too inefficiently, TooDming's going to run out of money, despite taking every other base on the map, despite taking that gold base as well.
Yeah, XY's just been trading too efficiently, but as efficiently as he's trading, he still is going to need some of these bases. He now gets a 5th base up and running. Can he take a 6th? As TooDming is actually being a little bit cheeky, he's actually expanding towards the bottom left-hand corner of the map.
Yeah.
Oh.
Taking one of XY's bases over there. Very questionable maneuver there with the banelings.
Yeah. Not
killing
too sure.
Killing a planetary fortress that wasn't mining at the cost of every single baneling that you had there.
Yeah, that was a bit of a questionable move, but at the same time, we do have a double drop. One of them gets picked out of the skies right now, so likewise, XY is also going to be bleeding out some of the supply, but he's replacing his Marines with more Ghosts, with more Thors. Just mass Thor Ghost.
Yeah, that's kind of the difference right now between how our two players are trading. TooDming, he wants to trade it just to see whatever damage he can get done. XY is trading so that he can get a more sophisticated army.
And speaking of a sophisticated army, we are skipping ultras. We're going straight for Broodlord Infestor. The Greater Spire is just about to finish up. Broodlord Infestor isn't a bad composition, to get us wrong, but TooDming is going for a bit of a haphazard way of getting there. He needs a little bit more time to build up the Corruptor count, to build up the Broodlord count.
Yeah, I do think that Broodlord Infestor, in the long run, is probably going to be the better unit composition than Ultralisk, but again, like you said, it's kind of a scuffed way of getting about this. He got the Ultra Cavern. I believe he has Ultra upgrades as well. But then somewhere along the line decided, you know what, it's too late.
Yeah, recognize that, especially when your opponent's being this turtly. Like, ultras are great if you can fight in the middle of the map, in the middle of the open field. But trying to break these entrenched positions, going into tank fire, it's just not something that you can really do. Broodlords are much better to break these siege positions. It's just a transition that's a little bit late, and we'll see if it's too late, because we already have, look at how many ghosts there are!
And these are pre-patch ghosts, mind you. And the pre-patch Broodlord as well, but so many ghosts! I'm gonna fall to the banelings. was it worth it in the end? We'll find out here if it was worth it for TooDming. He did manage to take out a lot of ghosts, but now XY, he feels free enough to go for a full-on counterattack. He's going to take out this gold base, and I imagine just entrench himself in this position once again.
Yeah, XY, he may have the mindset of the king, but he doesn't have the control of the king because he lost 11 ghosts there. He wasn't able to split in time. They were all bunched up, and now TooDming is remaxing, is getting ready for another massive big surround.
And you should be able to take out these Thors and these tanks. These ghosts not quite in position to help out, but they are thankfully in a position where they can retreat. A couple of Banelings do connect and take out a couple more ghosts. Remember, Banelings are infinitely cheaper than ghosts are right now.
Yeah, that was 5 more ghosts. Even more get caught out in the retreat here as well. XY, his macro is looking quite solid, but again, he's just losing. He's bleeding out far too many ghosts that he just can't replace, especially now that Broodlords are coming out.
Yeah, I'm really liking this patience coming out here from TooDming. He waited until he was able to kill enough ghosts before going for his Broodlord transition. Now there's nothing really stopping him. Stopping these Broodlords. The Thors got taken out as well earlier on.
Yeah, they did, and now that the Broodlords are here, I just don't think there's enough on the ground to deal with this. There are like a handful of ghosts, and there are some Thors don't get us wrong, but nowhere near as many as there once were. You can see XY, he's down to 152 supply.
Is he? Yeah, he is. And now TooDming, again, he's just coming in with his maxed out army. He's got Broodlords, he's got Infestors, which he may not even need at the moment, but he's going to throw out a Fungal anyway. Just to be cheeky.
The Infestor goes down. Unfortunately, the Fungal missed the Ghost. That was the ideal kind of target there. So the Ghosts are doing what they can. They're getting a couple of snipes off. Not too bad at all. But with the Unsiege, the Lingbane goes in.
And the Lingbane connects. All of these Broodlords. I think we need to start adopting the Mutalist terminology when we talk about Broodlords now. A lot of them did get thinned out by the Thors and by the Ghosts. But TooDming traded efficiently enough, I would say. That now XY, he's flat out broke.
Yeah, he's broke right now. He just lost his most important, crucial mining base. He's down 80 supply. He's trying to, I mean, he's making 5 Ghosts and 2 Thors at a time and 2 Vikings. Like, he's getting as much anti-air as possible. This is great. He just doesn't have the time to rebuild because TooDming should be knocking down the front door of that 5th base.
That is going to be the plan here. Just trying to regroup with the rest of this army, yeah. And there's nothing really stopping him right now. Again, there aren't a lot of tanks. He's not... this position isn't as strong or as defensive as that 5th base location. And now, TooDming goes in with everything. Still needs to be careful.
He has to be very careful with his army positioning here as he edges on closer. He's got an Infestor ready and waiting to throw down that Fungal. There we go. Misses the Ghost once again. He's got another Fungal available to him. And you know what? Getting the Thors isn't too bad either as the Lingbane is raised to dive on in.
And connect and crash into everything. That is the power of instant damage coming out from Banelings. They may not be great against armored targets, but if you get enough of them, they just kill in the blink of the eye.
They kill everything, Poppy. Once again, the Ghost count gets reset. We only have a couple remaining. Nope, never mind. They all go down. There aren't any Corruptors here, so these Vikings will actually clean everything up eventually. But, oh my god, TooDming just instantly remaxes.
And this time, he is making use of that Ultra Cavern. You'll love to see it, or at least I do. Now that they're just flat out not enough Ghosts or tanks on the ground, he is also getting a Hydra Den, because why the hell not? If this game goes on even further, then Lurkers wouldn't be a bad option, but I don't think it's going to go on that long, Light.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It could. Shouldn't. As TooDming has taken control of the center of the map, he's going to be taking the gold base for himself. He's rebuilding the Broodlords that he lost. He's remaxing with Ultras as well. As we do get a little bit of a slideshow here. It's
I was worried that was on my end. Yeah.
No, it's. I mean, you can see that the player cams aren't lagging, so we can have a look at them.
Yeah, well, we can have a look at XY. Yeah,
true.
He's not lagging.
He's not.
It'll take us to a bit of a pause here. Seems to be a couple of latency issues going on there.
Yeah, it may be due to the fact that if you notice, TooDming's camera was turned
Hmm.
off in the middle of the game as well, so maybe he was having a little bit of latency issues, so he himself turned on his camera to try and help with that. Um, yeah, hopefully everything's okay.
And hopefully he doesn't need to forfeit or anything while he was about to win his first map here, or map number 1 here in this particular match.
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, and yeah, I guess the kind of unfortunate thing here is that there is almost no way like to come back here from XY. Like
Yeah.
he's in a pretty dire situation right now. Like it's not looking too good for our Terran.
It really isn't. This is the only way he could win.
Yo, what are you trying to imply right now? You trying to say that he has something to do with this pause? So you trying to? Oh, oh.
Say, man, you don't get a 10 mindset without being crafty.
Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I
I live
mean,
in cities. There's no way.
Oh my god, he called up the other IG boys. Jim has shown up outside of TooDming's apartment. You know, he's just taking a hacksaw at the power box, and
Yeah.
the power's down.
Hacksaw the power box. He just sawed it off.
Look, have you ever tried to cut the power to an apartment complex? Okay, like it's not easy. Okay, it's not an easy thing to do.
He's a crowbar, I imagine.
Oh boy. So yeah,
Or
our
a
players
cat.
or a cat.
Yeah, a cat. Just swipe the Ethernet cord.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
what? What? Oh my god. But yeah, our players just sorting out any kind of issues they have. You know, honestly, this is a good thing because this is just giving the Ducklings more time to wake up.
It really is. It's been. I'm just so glad that they don't have to wake up tomorrow on New Year's Day to play this out. Because those Ducklings, man, they were gonna be out. They were gonna be out tonight.
Some of them definitely. In Valencia. In Europe. So yeah. See, I was trying to throw IG and Jim under the bus about like tampering with TooDming's internet, but really it was milk.
It was. It's Valencia.
Oh goodness, we are back. Looks like everything is back to normal. Oh, we even have TooDming.
And the cam is back with the blurry background and the hat.
Beautiful. We are back. He's really doing his best Patty Mac impression, wearing his hat indoors. You'd love to see it.
Yeah. Is that a hoodie that he's got on? He could do a Vindicta impression as well.
Oh, he could double smudge.
He could.
As we do see the Ultras breaking on through the defensive line once again. We were talking about it earlier. Ultras aren't really the best unit for this. You can see how low they've gotten, but they make it on through. GG gets called. And TooDming takes the first game.
Just like so. Very efficient trade right at the end there from XY, but fortunately he just did not have those numbers on his side. TooDming is going to be able to kill XY, but will XY be able to take him out as he goes down?
Yeah, remember everyone, it's a best of 2, not a best of 3. So because of that, they can eliminate each other. They can take each other out if they're able to tie up the series 1-1. So XY has an opportunity, and he also has the map pick.
He does lose his pick, as it has been done throughout the entirety of WTL for the longest time, and it looks like a map has been chosen. Moondance is going to be map number 2. He's got something planned.
Oh, mate, you were talking about it before. He is looking to dance in the moonlight right now. And how better to dance our units than with some crazy kind of builds? I mean, there isn't that much to work with here in TVZ. But if XY was watching the CranKy Duckling stream yesterday, then he would have seen, some very special builds from the likes of Beyond.
Oh, yeah. Some very special pocket proxies, as they were having called.
I was referring to the 2 base 4 Axel in, but yes, that as well.
He lost on Moondance when he did that.
He did. Oh my god. But yeah, are some possibilities here. I know XY can sometimes be known for his wide array of builds, and here he is in the top left-hand corner of Moondance, XY.
And over here in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, TooDming, SSLT. Zooming past these intros.
I know, they don't even have trumpets, mate. They're animals. They're animals.
SMH my hedge.
Ugh.
I will be honest, for a split second I forgot we had a live feed. I was gonna ask Kuro to zoom in on like certain stuff, and I was like, can we get a look into TooDming's face? I was like, oh wait, I have no control over that.
Smurge. Oh my god. Yeah, tis the way of WTL. It would be great if we had our own personal observers, but alas, no. The production is all outsourced by WTL.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough visas to get people to jump into the Chinese client.
Yeah, we'll sneak Aries in. We'll sneak him in. So yeah. So he got a motorbike?
He does. He's a biker now.
Like
biking around Malaysia.
If you thought the streets could get any more dangerous, mate, Harry's is out there on a bike. Aye.
It's got a helmet.
Yeah. Shaking my head. I worry for that guy sometimes.
He is the skater boy.
He is the skater boy. True. Oh god, as once again we're kind of getting into this series here, into this game. So far, nothing out of the ordinary in our openers.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little let down here by XY. You know, I gotta say, this hasn't felt like we're getting the full extent of his mindset yet. Yeah,
I feel like we've seen his brain before. You know, it has kind of peeked up and out of his hedge,
bulged.
And it has, and it's always really impressive when we see it. We always get really excited as well. It's big, it's great, it's throbbing. But here in the last week of the round robin stage, like I'm hoping to see something else, and for the time being, he is going for at least a very greedy third TC.
Watch him get revived for the ace match.
True.
And that's when he'll pull out some Quanta build. An improved Quanta build.
Oh, how could you improve perfection? I don't know, man.
The Mindset King will figure out a way.
He'll figure it out, mate. He'll figure it out. So he does go for the third CC before a starport, but on location, tis one of the things you can do on Moondance. You can just be giga greedy as the Terran, and it is very difficult for the Zerg player to punish this. So yeah, XY just kind of taking advantage of some of the features of the map.
Yeah. That's a very early stim coming out from him, though.
Oh.
Without a second Rax yet.
Yeah, interesting. Are you feeling a Hellbat push?
I am. I'm feeling a Hellbat Marauder push coming out here from XY.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. So far, 2 Hellions slip on in. They're going to be able to get a couple of drone kills, not too many, as the things are going to be able to get a decent surround here and clean everything up. But what's important is that XY is continuing Hellion production back at home.
Yeah, that initial scouting force was just to see, or just to keep TooDming honest, you know, just to check what the mineral saturation was looking like, if he was going to be, I don't know, ling flooded or anything like that. That's 2 more Raxes for a total of 3.
Yeah,
so if announcer?
It is. So I assumed that it was going to be a 2-1-1 with a Hellbat push, but it looks like it's going to be a 3 Rax with a Hellbat push. I'm sticking with Hellbats just because, again, he's just continuing to make Hellions, but oh my god, he's getting a little bit too adventurous with them. He's going to get surrounded.
Yeah, at this point I have to wonder if it's worth it to even get the armory if you're XY.
Yeah, if we're bleeding out so many Hellions, I think we've lost 3 to 4 Hellions already. It may just not be worth investing into the armory. As he even loses another
Hellion to those lings, yeah. And I think XY has thought about the same as we have. He is going for his double engineering bay for upgrades. He is working on his starport, we shouldn't be seeing an armory anytime soon.
Yeah, it would be a little bit wasteful. Like, he does have 4 Hellions, and they could potentially turn into 4 Hellbats with the push, but we'll see if he does decide to invest into that. Meanwhile, TooDming across the map isn't being anywhere near as greedy tech-wise. We saw in game number 1, he went for 2 base Muta. This time, a lot more standard. He's just droning on up, investing in double Evo chambers, getting those double upgrades.
Yeah, playing this out a lot safer than he did on Stargazers. I say that, but it appears that he's double expanding?
Yeah, he is actually taking his 4th and his 5th at the same time. So very greedy here by TooDming. Maybe too greedy because Stim is done and I think Combat Shields is on the horizon. XY should be moving out soon and he should be looking to punish some of these bases.
Funnily enough, that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. And hey, there's the armory as well.
Yeah? At a pretty appropriate timing, I would say. I think this is more so we can get 2-2 upgrades. But like you said, if it finishes up and the fight is still going on, these Hellions being turned into Hellbats wouldn't be the worst idea here from XY.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the worst. It's going to be clearing up a lot of creep here in the center of the map. We have a couple of Widow Mines that are going to be barred as well. They will require detection to deal with, especially because of that armory. The Hellbats are rocking up, Hellions are rocking on up, and the Lings are going to try and engage here. The Banelings are still in the way.
And the Banelings do pop, but they are just not in range of those Marines. They do not connect. A lot of them actually get taken out by a single Widow Mine shot.
Yeah, 10 kills on that Widow Mine, not too bad, except all the Hellbats did get taken out, so XY is missing a lot of his buffer here. He only has a single Hellbat remaining, and unfortunately, he's not really threatening too much. He's clearing up a little creep, but he hasn't really been able to push into any of these bases.
Yeah, he's waiting for a couple of reinforcements to come in. The wall is not a wall!
The wall is not a wall. The Lings, they flood into the main base and the natural as well. Lings are all over the place at the same time. The double drop gets cleaned up as well.
And with that, so has all of XY's momentum.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's gonna be able to clean up all these Lings, but 12 SCVs have already gone down. He has relinquished all of his map control as well. TooDming can focus on making nothing but army, especially with all the larva he has to work with. He's even morphing Banelings into the main. He's an animal.
Because why the hell not? XY is distracted at the moment. Yeah, he's got a lot going on with his base being on absolute fire.
Oh my god. I mean, he does have this army just kind of distracting him for a moment. We do have the Banelings rolling on in as well. There we go. XY, he does react in time, but he's being cut off.
Oh. Like, so difficult to split your focus in this scenario.
It really is, but at least he's able to keep the majority of his SCVs alive. We see 2-2 on the way for TooDming. Still no additional tech. I may have missed an infestation bit going down, but for the most part, it's pure Lingbane.
62 more Lings are on the way, yep.
Oh my god. That is a lot of Lings right now on the way for TooDming. He's just looking to crush down this wall. Where my shots are gonna go off? Oh my god.
Not quite yet, but soon.
Soon they will. The wall is being rebuilt immediately by XY. We do see TooDming trying his hardest to try and bust it down.
And he will be able to force an opening, but he does not like his chances pushing into that natural base, I can tell you that much. Now with all those Widow Mines about.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? The Widow Mines are now on cooldown, so the Lingbane's going to be able to roll on in. He actually is breaking into the natural.
And he will be able to take out a lot of bio, a lot of the SCVs. Just about everything here. All of those workers consolidated at that Vespine geyser. All of them taken out, and from the looks of things, it seems that XY is not going to be able to get an elimination here on TooDming.
Oh my god, it looks like he won't. I mean, for the time being, he's doing a decent job at holding the line, but he's already lost so much. His reinforcements are trickling in here to try and hold the line as well. We have 20 more Lings on the way, and TooDming is finally taking up. He's finally transitioning.
Infestation Pit is on the way. Hydra Den is about to finish up right now. I'm smelling the lunkers, Poppy.
What do they smell like?
Disgusting.
Oh my god, I can smell them too, Papi. But I don't know if we're gonna get them to this game. I don't know if the game is gonna last that long because TooDming wants to just keep on ramming his face into this wall. We have one Baneling borrowed, one Widowmine is gonna be going off here, but oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. Didn't go off. Oh.
Yeah, but you know what does go off?
Oh.
All of these Banelings on all of these SCVs. GG is called, and TooDming will be winning his match here for SSLT, the Starving Camels, 2-0.
GG, well played. A very crucial win here for SSLT. They are able to take a lead over IG as a result if they can take the overall series. But a nice lead here, 2-0 so far for the Camels.
Yeah, a very, very good lead here. And this just gives the entire team a lot more, well, I was going to say breathing room, but you know, a little bit of momentum going into this.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since it looks like we're getting into our, not quite the ace match, but the match with our two aces now.
Yeah, Coffee versus Silky is going to be coming up next. Of course, Coffee is the ace player of IG. He has proven himself time and time again to be a very formidable player, to be a bit of a trendsetter, a meta setter as well, with his very innovative builds. Silky, we have a starving camel, you know, a player that at one point retired for quite some time and recently came back.
Yeah. Still starving, still hungry for victories coming in here. And now he's looking to do his team proud.
Do camels eat cactuses?
They drink water.
They are known for drinking a lot of water. Yeah.
Camel diet.
They do.
Herbivores eating grass, grains, wheat, and oats.
Okay.
Shrubs.
So no cactus is what you're saying.
Do camels eat cactus? That's the first thing. That's the first suggested. That's the first suggested question coming out here in Google. Apparently they do, with hardened mouth structures.
Oh. Look at that.
Arabian camels, yeah.
They can eat cacti.
Yeah. Other animals that can eat cactus are javelinas, hares, rabbits, and desert tortoise. Deers and wild goats eat cactus by breaking the stem with their solid horns and antlers. Squirrels, gophers, birds, bats, and iguanas rely on cactus for water rather than food.
There you go. There you go. One day, if you're out there and if you need to stay hydrated,
yeah,
eat a cactus.
A camel.
What? What?
Is it a camel eats a cactus?
Yeah. Shaking my head.
Yep.
Yeah, shaking my head. But oh boy, yes, we are gonna be getting our players ready here once again. Take some shots because we're gonna be a little bit delayed apparently when it comes to looking for our players. All right then. Shaking my head. Shaking my head.
I got a trick yet.
I'm already out of water.
Yeah. I already kind of decided I'm not going to do the drinking game, but I kind of screwed myself when it comes to hydration here. Got a jar of olives sitting on my desk.
Why do you have a jar? Why do you have a jar of olives on your desk?
Kuro told me to get them.
What?
Yeah.
What?
In the when we were setting up.
Uh-huh.
She told me to grab a jar of olives, so now I have a jar of olives on my desk.
Okay. I mean, technically, you could drink the jar of olives.
I could drink the pickle juice.
There you go.
The olive juice.
Yeah. Oliveira. Is that why you got the jar?
Oh, that's why, because it's all like Olivier. Oh,
yeah.
I'm getting it now, Kuro.
Wait, is that why you got the jar?
I'm getting it now. I think that was the idea of what she was saying. I'm now getting it. Yeah, because there was no time for snacks.
Just
get
olives.
I didn't get it. But I got the olives.
He didn't get it. He did. He got the olives. He got it. Yeah.
Yeah, like so. They're very salty.
You know, we're not casting time tonight, right? Like, we're not casting
We are,
Oliveira.
but
In memory.
day.
Yeah.
In memory, yeah.
Yeah.
They are very salty, much like Oliveira.
True. True. He is a Terran. He is a Terran.
There we go.
Oh boy. So yeah, it looks like we're just gonna be waiting for our plays. You know what we're really waiting for? We're waiting for Silky. He just like on menu !menu pog in the chat. He ordered a cup of coffee and he was waiting for it to come for the celebration.
And speaking of coming for the celebration, coffee coming in now with not quite as much mindset as XY, but definitely a lot more balanced overall.
Yes, the balance is there, the mind is not. But his opponent coming out here more of a rectangle than a hexagon, all things considered. Apparently lacking a little bit in the defense in the macro, question mark.
Bit of a rhombus.
Oh, yeah. Trapezium.
Yeah. Kind of a parallelogram.
Yeah.
Parallel.
What's the other one? It's not a polygraph. It's like a. It's not a polygon, right?
Void. No.
Cuboid.
That's 3D. That's 3D. Porygon?
No, that's a Pokemon. Yeah, Polygon. Yeah,
Polygon.
Yeah.
Got polygon, rhombus, trapezoid, parallelogram.
Parallelogram, yeah. Mate, that grade school geometry coming out strong here. Let's go.
That's where I stopped.
Oh my god. But yeah, this is gonna be quite a sick series. We have been seeing a lot more of Silky recently, but we were talking about it earlier, how he did retire for quite a long time and recently did come back. That is why he is a starving camel. For those who don't know the backstory behind the name of the team, it is a team full of quote-unquote retired players that are hungry for more.
Yeah, players who retired and then remembered, don't forget, you're here forever.
Oh, Spider-Man. Oh boy, yeah.
Spider-Man fight a camel now.
So he is back and he is hungry for some cactus. And can he find any on Moondance? We are here to find out. Again, Coffee is probably like the strongest and most difficult opponent to go up against in the team of IG. So Silky rolling the dice and getting a little bit of the short end of the stick, but he's still, I do want to believe that he's still, relatively on par with Coffee.
Yeah, I mean, even if we go by SC Boy's total scoring here, they're pretty comparable.
Yeah.
Silky just didn't make the cutoff for a credit there with C.
Yeah. Like, how do they come up with these numbers? We're never going to know.
Yeah. Well, you can see it right there. They rate their different attributes as players.
Yeah, how do they get their attributes?
They score them.
Can we bribe them?
Can we lobby them?
Can we get some more goddamn points for the shaft, mate? That's all I want.
Can we spam them with essays and think opinion pieces on why the shaft should be an S?
I could write all day long about the shaft and how he deserves to be a greater number.
Well, you could just go to them and say, just look at it. Just look at the shaft.
Yeah, just look. Just get out a tape measure. Just measure him. Just measure him.
Yep.
Where's the game? Where's the game?
We're waiting. We are waiting. Take a shot if you want, chat, because I think it's been over 3 minutes. We won't, because we have rules against this.
Oh my god.
We have to wait a little while longer, which
also,
I appreciate.
Kura is talking to us right now, and I didn't know about this. Apparently, Asher has a system of getting points where you unlock achievements? What?
He was getting ready. He was talking about it. He was saying he wanted to get his own he wanted to make his own scoring system with blackjack.
I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware of what the system would be. I mean, look, it's the final week, so Asher, if he's willing to unveil his ranking system, now is his chance.
Yeah. Or it's like, if there's like a sick moment in game, you get one more point into the thing. He was saying it on stream. He was saying it with you.
Yeah. It's not like an achievement unlocked. It's not achievement unlocked. It's like they're leveling up in front of us. Like if they do something like prominent, then we give them some points.
Yeah. We're like the judges at the Olympics.
It would be amazing. Oh god.
And we actually have evidence. But here's the thing. Are we gonna make it logarithmic? Or like a bell curve in a way? Because I feel like the higher they are in, like, say, micro skill, the higher our kind of standards, or the higher our kind of, requirements for what constitutes a sick play would be higher.
Would it?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
What if it's just not capped?
What if it's like a flat rate?
Yeah. I mean, if we're working with 100 points.
We are?
We got a lot of points to give.
Oh.
100 is the max. Yeah.
I see. Why is defense on there twice now that I think about it?
No, that's offense and defense.
Oh. Okay, am I blind?
They are spelled differently. The letters are in different sequence, Yaku.
Oh.
Oh.
I see that now.
Beautiful. Yeah, we're just kind of waiting here. Kur's asking if we can have our own internal ranking, and that sounds like a lot of work. But here we go in the bottom right hand corner. IG's coffee.
And coming up over here in the top left hand corner, we got Boudet, Silky, representing SSLT. I'll put it in the spot. Just spit my intro out as quick. In as few words as possible.
Yeah, it's so unnatural for the intro to be this short. Like, what's happening right now? It's... Oh.
And this is me sober.
This is the anti-Yaku tournament where, like, intros have to be like 5 seconds long, and then we have like 10 minutes of downtime in between games.
I would love that. Yeah, we used to have our own internal ranking system. Used to have some justification for cases made for a power rank that we had in the CranKy Ducklings, but then that kind of stopped for some reason.
Yes. Yeah, we used to have we even had like a VTL power ranking. If you wanted to, you could even make a WTL one.
That's been covered by Nakamura.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yes. Yep. As nothing is happening so far in game.
Yeah, we do have, once again, some standard openers coming out here from both of our players. We were talking about how Silky is looking to really return and make a name for himself. And yeah, we'll see if he can do so against a player who has been around the entire time, who didn't take a break, who didn't retire, who has been slowly just like leveling up in the scene and getting better and better results over time. Like recently in the past couple of seasons of DreamHack, making it into the top 4 of China. Like, Coffee's been doing really well for himself.
Yeah, gone are the days where he's been... Gone are the names where the nickname budget time applies to Coffee. I think he really has been able to strike out more of a name for himself. He has been able to distinguish himself in terms of his play style and what he likes to go for. A couple of frames are starting to drop here.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get another pause here, and I have to wonder: is it the players? Is it the observer? I don't know, but there we go. We are gonna get that pause. Oh boy, just some technical issues going on today, and hopefully they don't persist throughout the entire night because we got a lot of matches ahead of us.
We do. We have 3 well, wait, how are we distinguishing them? We have 3 team versus team, and in each team versus team, we have several best of 2s. So,
Yeah,
you do the
math. Oh boy, so we don't know if it's the players or if it's the observers that are having these latency issues. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. It's hard to distinguish. It may be player related, and that's why it took a while for us to get the lobby up and running. I did notice that Silky didn't have a cam, and I think he usually does. I'm not too sure.
Well, it gives us a little bit more time to admire this oblong
That's
coming
true.
out here. This parallelogram.
Yeah. Pretty interesting that they kind of pointed out, or at least the WTL boys think that they have the same offense. I would say that Coffee is a much more aggressive player, right?
He is, but it's not just about how offensive they get. It's also about how good is the aggression.
Is it?
I'm assuming so.
I guess so. I mean, yeah, whenever I think of Coffee, I think of his strong pushes. I think of his innovative, like, I don't know if you remember this when he was first doing it, maybe at the start of the year.
The
in
eBay
TVP.
blocks?
Yeah, the eBay blocks.
Unbundled.
Yeah. Like he would just create his own just Sim City on the map or on the other side of the map just for his fights, you know? Like it's
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Just that feat alone, I think, should bump him up a little bit higher when it comes to the offense, because he's actually thinking of how to take these engagements.
Yeah, I agree. So Coffee definitely someone who deserves a couple more points in the offense, but here we go. We're getting back into the game. Hopefully, any kind of latency issues have been resolved, and we can continue.
Fingers crossed. So we continue. Our players are continuing to play standard.
Yes, they are. We do see Kofi just like his predecessor, just like XY. He's going for a third CC before Starport on location. So very economic opener on Moondance. It is the norm. It is the standard that we see in the current meta, in current era of StarCraft. Silky is actually making another wave of lings here. He's not ling flooding by any means, but yeah, making more than we're used to.
Yeah, I mean, looking to see if he'd slip in, I guess, with any of his lings, but the Hellions have something to say about that.
Yeah, they're going to be able to deny any kind of scouting for now. It looks like Silky is just a little bit paranoid of any kind of run by, and once again, we see a very fast lair.
Keeping our eyes on the gases now. We need to see how willing is Silky to go into 2-base Buda.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting a Baneling Nest for safety. He's going to scout and confirm the bio opener here from his opponent. We have more Raxes on the way behind this, but I think we're all waiting for the Spire. No, never mind. 2 Evo Chambers are thrown down instead.
Huh. Okay, so something a lot safer coming out here from Silky, something a lot more ground-based. I'm hoping we see a Nidus, just to sort of justify that early lair, but with how things are shaping up, I think he just wants an earlier Baneling speed.
Yeah, but this is really greedy of him because it was a 4-minute lair, which is far earlier than we usually get it. But of course, we have confirmation that it is going to be for Baneling speed and for these upgrades. We can see that Silky actually doesn't have the gas.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see why players, if we're gonna commit into just a regular ground focus upgrades, getting a fast lair like that can set you. It's not very efficient.
It definitely isn't, but when has Silky ever thrived on efficiency? That's what I would say.
I mean,
Quite a few times in the past, yeah.
quite a few times. There we go. We have a bailing speed finally on the way. As soon as we get 100 gas, we should be getting +1 melee as well. Again, Silky's opener is just a little bit wonky. It's a little bit off center, but he can definitely recover from it. And it's not the biggest of deals. Like, you know, it's not like he's putting himself far behind or anything like that.
Yeah, he is still very much safe, and he still does have 3 bases up and running, about to get a 4th. If he still wanted to, he could get a 5th in the pocket if he really needed to. But yeah, for now, both of our players are very much even.
Very even indeed. I do see the upgrades on the horizon for both our players, and we should see Coffee moving out soon. Again, this is very reminiscent to how XY was playing himself, where he has a couple of Hellions on the map. He's done a better job at preserving them. The Armory is about to finish up with this push as well.
Yeah, and these Hellions can definitely turn. There we go. Into Hellbat, so that gives him a little bit more of a buffer, or rather gives these Marines a little bit more of a buffer, but they don't quite have an anchor. The Widow Mines are tanks.
Oh, they really do not. There we go. They stim on forward. A couple of these queens are going to get picked off. Bailings are already morphed in. They're going to be able to roll on forward. Bailing speed finishes up.
Just in time to chase this all away. Coffee gonna have to retreat, come up with a new plan, get ready for round 2.
Oh, and what is round 2 going to be? That's going to be probably a timing with a 2-2. He does keep the majority of his Marines alive, so he's going to be active here in the middle of the map. Going to be able to clean up whatever creep he can, shave off whatever units he can, as well as he picks up and he gets the hell out of there. Again, just buying some time, being a nuisance, waiting for that later timing.
Yeah, whatever he can really do to keep the creep back, distract Silky a little bit, as that creep is already halfway across the map. That's one of the big advantages for this kind of Zerg playstyle on Moondance. It's a very, very tiny map. You can really get away with a whole lot. Great target firing coming out here from Coffee.
Oh,
Taking out a couple of Banelings when they were way far in the back line. All right, Micro, +1.
+1, Poppy. Let's go. It needs to be up there with the best of them. As we do see Coffee once again going for some multi-prong harassment. We see a force towards the north, clearing up whatever creep he can. He has to be a little bit careful not to be surrounded. The Hydras are rocking up as well. And ooh, we don't have enough room in the medevac. Some guys get left behind.
Them guys get killed, Papi.
Oof, smurge. Meanwhile, Silky's been doing a decent job at keeping up here. He has to make sure he replaces a lot of the creep that he's losing, though. That's something that we haven't really seen too much of. I believe he has a couple of queens left over, and hopefully he can get on top of that sooner rather than later. Oh, there we go.
Very, very sooner rather than later. The infestation pit is on the way here, as are the Hydra upgrades, thanks as our lovely admin, Hella?
What?
Heller is pointing out.
What?
I meant to say observer, not admin.
Yes. Oh boy. And with that, we do see that Silky's just getting so much map control right now. He was on top of replacing a lot of that creep, so he hasn't really been slowed down too much. Coffee, he's kind of being forced into a corner of Moondance.
Yeah, which is never where you want to be. It's a very, very tiny map, and very, very, and a very, very open kind of opening. Wide opening, that's what I meant to say. An open opening, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they call it, an opening.
Why they call it an opening? It's crazy. It's the English language. It's beautiful.
No sense.
Oh my goodness, here we go. Silky is trying to look for a way in here. His main army's here on the right-hand side. This does get revealed by these spotted Marines, so we can see Coffee is getting ready to receive there. Meanwhile, we see Silky looking to maybe try and rotate over to the other side instead. It can be really difficult to break the Terran player here on these 4 bases. Silky, he may be looking to try.
Yeah, that is the plan at any rate, judging from his unit composition. I mean, at any rate, he is maxed out right now. He wants to get to Hive Tech, but he needs to clear up some of his supply.
He really does. I mean, he's got a massive amount of Ling Bane Muta, and I wouldn't blame it if he just rolls Banelings into these walls and just crashes them down just to make room for Ultras and just to make room for Vipers. We'll see how frivolous he is with his army. Like, the other option is that if he wanted to, he can just stay back and just wait for his opponent to move into him and just wait for Coffee to try and expand and take another base.
Yeah, it's almost like a game of chicken at this point. But again, the longer this goes on, the better it should be for Silky, as he is a player with a much better economy.
Yeah, he's got the map control. That's probably the biggest thing that we can critique right now. Look at his bank, especially his mineral bank. If he wanted to, he can take every single hatchery on the map, and there's not much of a reason not to do that right now. And even drone up a little bit more as well. His drone count is a little bit subpar here with 78, now pushing up into the 80s.
Yeah, slowly but surely, Nidus is on the way.
Oh,
Coming out here from Silky. That's honestly, I think, one of the better ways to utilize this mass Lingbane army.
Mm-hmm.
Not by charging through the front door, but by sneaking in through the back. You're planning to get rid of some of the supply anyway, so might as well make it count.
Exactly. We'll see if he can get vision there behind that base. Meanwhile, as Coffee tries to take a 5th base, in comes the Lingbane to deny it immediately.
Like so, it will get chased back, but yeah, not before. Taking out a couple of Liberators there, making that a less defensible location now.
Yeah, once again, he's going to be pushing on in, but the tank count is looking quite solid, and this is a bit of a scary moment for Silky. He's had so much map control this entire time, but now that Coffee has gotten a 5th base, and it looks like he is securing it, especially with these planetaries, especially with these tanks, Coffee, is going to have his own bank to work with, and Terran armies, they just do trade more efficiently.
Like so, like we can see right now. Once again, really good use of SimCity that we've come to expect from Coffee.
Yeah, just creating these choke points, creating these funnels for the Lingbane to roll into. We already see Liberators and Ghosts in production as well. 3-3 on the horizon, 3-3-3 actually for the Terran. Some more planetaries, and yeah, Silky's gonna have to try and do what TooDming did in the previous series. I feel like the only way to break him is with Broodlords.
No, I thought you were going to say the only way to break him is from behind. But Broodlords wouldn't be a terrible idea as well. Silky now trying to come in from multiple different prongs. The Nidus is actually more of a distraction than anything.
Yeah, and I worry. Look at the supply of Silky. It dropped down here to 130. He does remax on Ling Ultra. We were talking about it before. Ultras can... They serve their purpose, but they can struggle to push into these entrenched positions as well. I worry that we may be wasting a lot of precious gas that we're going to need for the eventual Broodlord switch.
Yeah, there's definitely a time and a place for Ultras, but this doesn't seem to be it. Unless he can get the Ultras out from a Nidus.
You really want the Nidus.
I really do.
I mean, Silky's trying to go for it. I don't know if you saw, but we had an Overseer trying to dive into the pocket base as well. Like, he's trying to get in. He's trying to get some kind of vision. Just hasn't been able to.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, I appreciate that Silky isn't neglecting his tech. You know, he's not so stubborn that he needs this to work in particular. The greatest part is on the way. He is stubborn enough that he's just suiciding Overseers into that location over and over and over again.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, thankfully not the biggest investment, but an investment nonetheless. Silky just waiting here outside the base. I believe we already have a Greater Spire. We have a couple of air attack upgrades on the way as well. I'm sure after our next big fight, Silky will be looking to transition his tech.
Yeah, slowly but surely. And by slowly, I mean he needs to get rid of a lot of his supply. Once again, pre-patch ghosts. They're insane.
They're crazy. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see how he's going to pull this off. We see a Nidus here on the right-hand side. We see Coffee trying to scan and figure out how many bases exactly have been taken, what the saturation is looking like here. I'm just waiting for Silky to basically ape in. Like, there's no reason not to. Maybe as we do soon, 12 Corruptors are on the way. Oh.
Yeah, eventually they'll be... Well, I was going to say turn into Broodlord, so I don't think he has enough supply for that. He's coming in the 5th base with all of his Ultras and whatnot. He's distracting the entire army while a Nidus pops up in the main.
Is there anything in the Nidus, though? That is the big question. There's Lings in the Nidus, but they aren't coming out yet as Silky is forced back. We have Infestors in production. We should be seeing Broodlords soon, TM, as more Niduses are finishing. But where are the Lings?
They are now coming out. I think he forgot about this other
Yeah.
Nidus he had here in that main base. Meanwhile, 11 Brute Lords are on the way. And the ghost count from Coffee, I don't recall being too impressive.
Yeah, he's definitely got some ghosts, but I don't know if he has enough here. He doesn't have any Thors either. He's got a lot of he's got a lot of tanks, and he's got a lot of Liberators. And the Broodlords are now on the way. So this tech switch from Silky may just be the nail in the coffin. It all depends on how many ghosts there are and if they're in position.
Yeah, slowly making him way down. Okay, he's got enough ghosts. But will he be able to utilize them? That's a completely different question entirely. How good are the fungals going to be from these infestors to kind of cancel all these snipes?
Oh boy, that's the big question here. We'll see if we can get it. The Broodlords again slowly moving forward, looking to lay siege upon these bases here. They have been spotted by Coffee with that scan. He's fully aware of what is coming his way, but he's also maxed out, so he can't really respond right now.
He could nuke the army.
He doesn't have any nukes. He could.
He has a Ghost Academy, yeah.
He does. He doesn't have supply for nukes right now.
He doesn't, but, you know.
Yeah. I hear you.
Great job coming out here from Coffee, taking out a Viper and an entire base, but his front door is being knocked down. All his back door is being dug under.
Yeah, Nidus is on the way. We do have a couple of ghosts coming in, but the ghosts are exposed! Oh my god, 3 of them are going to be going down for free here. There's nothing to protect them.
Yeah, unfortunately, Liberators don't count as protection, or not good enough protection, I should say. Nidus in the main base will set out a flood of Lings, a whole flood of Lings.
Yeah, I mean,
builders drop, but all of a sudden, things are not looking great for Coffee.
Yeah, these drops are nice and all. Like, Coffee is dealing some counter damage, but Silky is looking to break into the production and the main base of Coffee, and we only need a couple of reinforcements back at home to clean this up. This is also why I wanted Silky to expand and take every single hatchery on the map, because it means that these base trade scenarios aren't anywhere near as dangerous for him, but Silky is losing a lot of hatcheries.
Yeah, if things get a little out of hand here, it's actually entirely possible to see Coffee win just by killing every single base. I mean, there are still a lot of corruptors out on the map, don't get us wrong, but I feel like Coffee can be a lot sneakier with his buildings than Silky can.
He can be, and it looks like Coffee's just running out of steam here with his drops. Like, he's doing a lot of damage, sure, but we can see a couple of Marines going down here and there, and every Marine he loses, it's something that isn't going to be replaced here. As I think the Hydras just got cleaned up, but we have some defensive ultras, and I think that's going to be it. Oh my god.
Defensive ultras. You don't hear that every day, but yeah, that's what we're seeing right now from Silky. These are mostly Marines. So it's very, they have a very tough time dealing with all these ultralists, and just like that, I really don't see a way for Coffee to turn this around. Okay, he has some Thors back at home. No, it's not going to be good enough. GG is called. Rika, otherwise known as Silky, is going to take game number 1, eliminating Coffee from this particular match, but will Coffee be able to drag him down with him?
That's the question. GG, well played. Silky does take a very nice win there. It took him a while to transition into those Brood Lords, and I was really concerned with how long it took him to get there, but he got there in the end, and Coffee was having a hard time holding onto his bases. He eventually went for some drop play, but I think that was something that he needed to do earlier. That is something that he needs to try and pull off sooner to get his opponent off his back so he can trade out supply and just get a better anti-Brood Lord army.
I agree.
Oh boy, and yeah, now we get our second map.
Yeah, once again, Coffee does have the choice here, does have the advantage, and Cosmic Sapphire is what we're going into. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that this is his map pick.
Yeah, because Cosmic Sapphire is like the largest map in the map pool, so it does kind of favor more late game scenarios. You could argue that because it's larger, you have a lot more like room to maneuver around, and you can be a little bit more active. But I'm a little bit shocked here. I'm hoping that Coffee is actually going to proxy.
Fingers crossed. I mean, we have been seeing a lot of Max Packs inspired gateway proxies coming up from Protoss players in this particular matchup, especially in Cosmic Sapphire, but we'll see. You know, maybe it's not exclusive to Protoss.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, there's that really good location right next to the Marine statue, which I'm sure you're familiar with, which is really good for proxy 2 racks. I wonder if Coffee's going to go for that. We have seen that work time and time again here on Cosmic Sapphire. I'm hoping that's the plan. I'm hoping we're not going to go into another long late game scenario here because it just didn't quite work out for Coffee.
Yeah, not at all. But then again, it's a large map light.
It's big. It's quite big.
It's big. It is big, but it's, funnily enough, not quite so defensible for Terran, I feel.
Yeah. I feel like Tropical Sacrifice kind of has that for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot more.
Cosmic Sapphire, it's definitely better for, or more defensible, I should say, for Protoss in the early game. But, yeah, not so much for Terran or Zerg, and even for Protoss. You know, if the game goes on a little bit longer, if we get to 4 or 5 bases, it's not as defensible. But then again, it's kind of a moot point because at that point, I have a ton of shield batteries. So
it's true. It's very true. It is current patch.
It is.
Oh boy, so we'll see what the plan is here from our 2 players. The plan is for Coffee. You know, we have given him quite a bit in strategy, a couple of points there, a couple additional points. So, you know, it's going to be on him to actually make use of that hexagon, that hexagonal play.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be a battle of brain versus brawn here.
Oh.
As Coffee does edge out Silky when it comes to defense, micro, and macro. Both of them are about even in offense, but when it comes to mind and strategy,
yeah,
Silky has the advantage.
There you go. Is Silky the red one?
Yeah.
He is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
They need like a key here for this graphic scene. They need something to make it clear who is red and who is blue.
They need like an outline on the players.
Yes, on the players, either their bodies or like their numbers or something, you know?
Yeah. No, their bodies. I was thinking their bodies, not the score. Not the numbers, not the score.
Okay.
You have like just an aura coming out from them.
Oh boy.
And you know what? The more score you get, the brighter the aura is.
True.
So you're getting to Maru, and Maru is just blinding everyone.
Oh, he's gonna be Super Saiyan. Yeah. That'd be sick. Yaku, you should be in charge of WTL. There you go.
Should.
Oh boy. But yeah, we're just getting.
Hire me, SC boy.
You know all the Mandarin. You know it all, Papi.
See.
But yeah, we're just gonna be getting our next map ready here for our players. Once again, looks like maybe they asked for a break. I did see that Coffee did kind of shake his head and throw his hands in the air a little bit, like he does just care. And yeah, he did. You know, that game did get to him a little bit. Game 1.
Yeah, I can't say I blame him too much. I mean, it was kind of a game that felt a little bit oppressive in a way from the side of Silky. I mean, to be fair, Coffee was definitely playing a lot more passive than I normally expect him to play, but yeah, he was definitely struggling to get out on the map. Speaking of which, Blue Terror player got Cosmic Sapphire, RG, Coffee.
Spotting in the bottom right hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire representing SSLT. It is Silky.
I need to write like a macro for my mouth.
It is Heller.
Hella, yeah.
Fun facts. Kura can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the first time that Heller is actually observing.
I'm gonna say so, yeah.
Usually it's Rain.
It is, and we have a lot of memes about that.
Yeah. I have to wonder if that's associated with what happened. So, for those who don't know, we did go for a bit of a break over the past couple of weeks, and the reason for that is because the admins and the observers were actually sick with COVID last week, so they couldn't. They had to postpone. But if they are still unwell, it's quite possible that they actually got replacement observers and replacement admins.
Yeah, wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, especially because COVID isn't something that goes away too quickly.
Mhm.
It takes about a week and a half.
Yeah. So maybe there's some reasoning for that. Meanwhile, oh my god, I don't know if you noticed, but like Coffee's been
Coffee is like, just throwing his head back a little bit.
at the very start as well. There was a big sigh.
Shaking his head, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, God, oh my god. So Mhm.
I've also noticed that he went to your school of fashion sense.
Uh-huh. What school did I go to?
Hoodie, no shirt.
Oh, beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Yeah. He's ready to take it all off, mate. You know, here in the Southern Hemisphere, you know, it's summer right now. It's, you know, Christmas time is all about taking off the clothes and as far as you know.
Ah.
Oh god. Meanwhile, Silky, he's just been stoic as hell on that cam, you know, just been staring into our souls.
Yeah, unblinking.
Unwavering.
No waivers at all. It's like a staring contest, and that's why he has the mindset advantage over Coffee.
Yeah, exactly. How do you compete against that? You know,
Yeah.
when you're up against the person who just looks at you and doesn't stop. Like, it's what are you gonna do?
Look back. Established dominance.
So, I mean, that's what Coffee's gonna try and do here. His first Reaper slips on in. Can he get a kill? No, he cannot. Up.
One drone will be going down here, but the Reaper will get taken out in the end. Coffee gets a very good start. Oh, look at that. He's smiling.
Yeah, but that was a shake of the head smile because losing a Reaper from a drone is not a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We're losing it. We're losing. Stay with us, Coffee. Oh.
It's not that bad.
Look, there's a reason why his mindset wasn't as big as Silky's in the hexagons. Oh my god.
Well, now we know what he does when he gets to the when he's at the absolute depths of his insanity and anger.
He's gonna play mech.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be mech.
It doesn't. Yeah, so this is something that doesn't happen so often. So Coffee is going for 3cc BC. So the BCs are going to be later than they usually are because we got the CC first, which is why we don't see this too often. It's like a macro BC opener. I'm really interested to see if this goes unscouted.
It's a really weird variant of 3cc before Starport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll see if he can pull it off here. We'll see if we indeed have mech or if we have something else in store for us. The first BC is going to be on the way. Silky is none the wiser. Everything looks normal for the time being. Everything looks standard. He's investing into 1-1. He's delaying his upgrades. Oh my god.
It's mech.
Oh, this isn't just mech, mate. He's actually not going to harass with the BC. He's going to hit and join forces with the Hellbats.
That is going to be the plan here, coming out from Coffee. Silky, will he be able to scout this? Well, he saw the tech lab, and now he sees the fusion core. I was going to say, regardless, he's going to be getting a couple of spore crawls back home, but now he has full confirmation. He needs to group up every single one of his queens.
He needs the queens, he needs the lair, he needs the spire. Meanwhile, we have two more factories behind this, so Coffee is indeed playing that mech style. Some of these queens are getting a little bit caught out here, but so far the transfuses are good enough to keep everything alive. Coffee, he just wants to find a little bit more damage. But there we go. The Hellbats and the BC join forces for one major push.
Like so. Not a whole lot of anti-air here. BC has pretty much free reign. All of these queens actually used up their energy earlier. against the Hellions. So now Coffee
Oh.
might be able to... Well, we'll see. I mean, he might have enough momentum here to cripple Silky and go into the mid-game from there.
Mate, every single queen is going down right now. This BC is winning the game for Coffee. The Lynx can't do anything because, unfortunately, I don't think there's even a Baneling Nest right now. So Lynx against Hellbats is something you never want to see.
Lynx against Hellbats is something you never want to see. And yeah, like you were saying, the queens are just not able to deal with either the Hellbats or the BC right now.
Yeah, Silky's doing a decent job at keeping his workers alive. The Lynx go for a counterattack, but there's a wall of Hellions and Hellbats waiting for him. The Lynx, they do nothing.
That was such a power move. The Hellions turning into Hellbats right in the face of all of those Lings. Blue Flame just started as well, but I don't think Coffee's even gonna need it.
Yeah, Coffee should smudge more often because when he smudges, he knows how to win, and that's just to make BCs, mate. Because the second BC rocks up, the queens don't have enough energy for transfuse. These queens are all going to die.
Like so. They may be able to kill one BC, but there's still plenty more where that came from. Yamato is on the way, about halfway done.
Did you see that? Coffee was laughing to it. He was having a laugh, mate.
He was, yeah. He is so happy. There we go.
Oh my
god. He is called. Look at how happy he is.
You know what he's saying?
I can't say I blame him. He's thinking, I can't believe that worked.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's like, mate, I just aped. I turned off the brain. I was like, I'm just going to do whatever comes to me by nature. That is just make BCs. And it worked. Oh,
love to see it. GG, Coffee. You know, he does get eliminated from today's match, but at least he's able to take out his opponent with him.
Yeah, this is the day that Coffee found out, you know, the secret behind winning is Terran.
This is, yeah. I think this is a dark day. This is the day Coffee turns to the dark side.
Yeah.
Gonna rock up at DreamHack China next season. Rock up to Oliveira and be like, I don't remember a line from Star Wars. That could be who's there.
I have the high ground, Anakin.
You turned them against me.
Not from my perspective.
Like, don't you understand, Coffee? BCs are evil.
Yeah, and just to quickly touch on Silky's haphazard defense there. Despite scouting and seeing the Hellbats and BCs coming at him, he never either made a Roach Warren or, more importantly, a Baneling Nest, so he never had an answer to the Hellbats. He kept making queens, but he didn't have a lair or a spire on the way to help deal with the BCs. Like, it looked like he was in shock a little bit. Like, he didn't really know what to do. He was on autopilot for a bit there.
Yeah, well, in game it seemed like he was in shock, but I think out of game he was doing a really good job of hiding it.
Oh, true. Yeah. He was doing his best innovation impression.
Yeah. Stared at our souls. Speaking of staring at our souls, we have our opponents or our players coming up here for our final match here in IG versus SSLT.
Yeah, it is going to be a PvP between MacSed and Firefly. We're about to pop off. Things are about to heat up here with the mirror matchups. Who doesn't love a good PvP?
I literally can't think of anyone who dislikes PvP.
Yeah, if you do, you're an
ad. Other than Protoss players.
True. I'm sure there are plenty of Protoss players that despise the matchup just because of how aggressive, how dynamic it can be. It can be really difficult to keep up with your opponent. We've seen time and time again, just a couple of extra Stalkers can win you the game. The wall not being a wall and Adepts getting in can win you the game. Proxies, DTs, Invisible Men.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Thankfully, it seems like both our players are on the same mindset when it comes to those sort of styles. Like, maybe MacSed, from what I'm understanding from this graph, is a little bit more willing to go for those invisible men than Firefly is. Those cheeky strategies. But Firefly, he's way better at defending.
Apparently, looking at these hexagons.
I question this graph and the score there. What's going on here? Because it looks, from what I'm looking at, it looks like Firefly and MacSed should have roughly the same score, right?
Yeah, I look. I want to believe they can do some basic math.
Wait, I just realized I forgot which player is red and which player is blue.
Firefly is red. Firefly is red.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So whatever I said earlier on, swap it. But yeah, but still, the point kind of stands, right? It looks like both players should be roughly even.
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, MacSed's lacking in a lot of different departments here, but he makes up for it in his defense, apparently. I do kind of agree that MacSed can be quite powerful in a more macro setting. And he can sometimes be lacking in some of these other places, but like they're basically saying that he has no micro or offense. It's like, mate, the hell?
Yeah. It's the least aggressive player.
Okay, I don't think that's true. Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
Feels MacSed, man.
Yeah, I do always appreciate that whenever they show MacSed, there's actually a new photo of this year, or yeah, technically this year, still this year for a couple more minutes. Yeah, he's rocking that lovely jersey.
Yeah, that jacket that we need to get. Hey, it's me, which IG Tropical Sacrifice MacSed, bottom left.
It's funny. That's our right hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice. We have representing Team SSLT, Firefly.
Oh.
You got it.
Yeah.
Just in time.
Yeah, snuck it in. That's how we roll.
Oh, 'tis how we roll. How? Oh, was that Hojo?
Was it?
Maybe.
Hojo. Do we have confirmation? I think it's like a delivery service.
No. I think I want to say that Creighton was in the chat a couple of weeks ago, and he let us know that that one of them was like a Discord ripoff. It was like basically Discord.
Oh, well, it's not Hojo. I think it might be, and it's not NetEase either.
No, I think it was Hojo. Yeah.
No, I don't think it was Hojo.
Yeah, because we were like, is it? We thought it was like Reddit, and he's like, no, it's like Discord.
Nah, I don't think it was Hojo.
Okay. Oh my god. So yeah. For the time being, we have some pretty standard openers here. MacSed rocking a beautiful, beautiful jacket. Oh.
Yeah, doing his best Vindicta impression.
Mm-hmm.
He's smoging in. Firefly, meanwhile. I can't really tell what's going on there.
Unfortunately, his camera hasn't quite focused on anything. So we're just censoring everything.
Yeah. We're censoring him, yeah. He's too hot.
He is not fit for Twitch, apparently. Oh boy. But yeah, so far we have some pretty standard openers. We do see both players going for their low ground walls and their low ground expansions. But MacSed is going to be a little bit delayed here, as we do have a Nexus block forcing him to go for some earlier tech.
Like so. As Firefly gets a very good scout on the base here of Firefly, we'll confirm the second gateway. We'll confirm that the natural base is still being taken.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh.
They are being taken at the moment. So we do see, or we should be having a bit, I imagine, an Oracle opening coming out from MacSed from that Stargate. Bit of an extra scout slipping on in, but won't be able to get too much information there. Just confirming that there is a base.
That's all you really need. MacSed going to be the player to get his Oracle first. So it's a Firefly who is really ramping up the Stalker production.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen any tech. I could be mistaken if I missed it in the production tab, but I don't think we've seen any tech yet from Firefly at the moment. Just focusing on his economy instead. Like, we don't see a Twilight Council, we don't see a Stargate. Yeah, quite interesting here.
Very interesting here, yeah. Going for pretty much a pure gateway style. for the time being at any rate. Shield batteries are finishing up back at home for him as well, so it's interesting that Firefly has decided to be the defender in this matchup, especially considering, the pregame stats that we saw.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he probably thinks that if the game goes on in a pretty standard way, and if he doesn't lose too many workers early on, he should be in a good position. So it looks like he's playing in a very confident fashion right now. We do see the Oracle trying to dip on in, but it is denied entry into the main base. We have a second Oracle on the way, though, so MacSed will soon have that one-shot potential.
Yeah, but will he have the juking and driving potential? Because once again, we have a lot of stalkers back home to defend here from Firefly. Blink is on the way as well, so yeah, that gives us further confirmation on what he intends to go for.
Yeah, MacSed isn't too far behind in the tech. Like, he's a couple seconds behind in Blink. He's got a Forge on the way for +1. And Firefly doesn't have any major worker advantages either. So, like, despite the openers here, MacSed, he may have the lower Stalker count overall, but he's making up for that a little bit more elsewhere, especially in these Oracles. He hasn't dealt any damage with them yet, but if Firefly ever moves out, there's potential there for MacSed.
Yeah, he is just waiting and making full use of his map control while he does so.
Yeah, he's sharking around. I love that Firefly just went for a full wall as well at the natural. He just doesn't want to deal with any of this adept nonsense. He doesn't want to be caught with his pants down either. Just every now and then throws down a full wall off. Meanwhile, that stasis trap, it is going to catch some stalkers. Or is it? Oh.
We can't see.
We can't see. We don't know. We don't know what happened.
Yeah, we'll say it has.
Is there even a stasis trap there? I don't know. There it is.
It is, yeah. There we go.
We could hear it. We can't see it, but we could hear it go off.
Yeah, it's a lot of stalkers being caught. Actually, 2 of them.
Oh. There we go. Meanwhile, the Adepts do shade on in, but this time there's more than enough to defend, so we don't have a commitment into the shade. MacSed being very careful with what little units he has. Oh, it looks like the Adepts are going to be caught out in the middle of the map. Likewise, the Oracles still haven't found any damage.
Not quite yet. Blink just finished up for Firefly, and he is marching across the map with everything he's got.
Yeah,
+1 is going to be very delayed for him, though.
It is going to be delayed, but what he lacks in those upgrades, he makes up for in mass Blink Stalkers. Right now, he's going to look to brute force his way through his opponent, and does he have enough?
Seems like he made the upgrades are even for the time being, and he does have that numbers advantage you were talking about. Shield batteries haven't finished up yet, and I think Firefly found just the right time to break into MacSed.
He just comes on in and one-shots everything down. It looks like with the reinforcing zealots, MacSed has enough to force Firefly back for a moment, but he can just keep up with these warp-ins. MacSed is trying to make up for that with Chargeless. Charge is on the way.
Charge is on the way, and okay, I thought those Adepts were going to finish up or commit to that shade, but apparently not. They are still going to get a little bit of probe damage, but nothing too major. Firefly still on even workers.
Yeah, he gets 2 probes, not too bad here. MacSed taking a very slight lead in the worker count. And even though he lost a lot of stalkers, didn't lose too much of his economy, he didn't lose a base or anything like that, he could afford to trade out some of these army units, especially now that he's just exasperating this upgrade advantage that he has. +2 already on the way.
Yeah, and here's something surprising to me, Light. Firefly, despite getting the much earlier Robo facility, doesn't have a Warp Prism or any Immortals.
Oh.
It's only producing it now.
Yeah, only now. So, we'll see how this all kind of shapes up here. We have the Gateway Explosion from both of our players. That Warp Prism does signify that Firefly wants to be the aggressor once again, but I feel like he may just be hitting an anti-timing. I feel like earlier was his moment, was his opportunity to really capitalize and really go for a kill move on MacSed. But I feel like now that moment is closing.
Yeah, if only he had that Warp Prism earlier, right? If only he was able to just continually reinforce Stalkers across the map when he took that advantage very convincingly. But like you said, now that moment has kind of passed. MacSed has his defenses up and running, his shield batteries and whatnot, and he's about to have a bit of an upgrade advantage. Firefly still trying to take advantage of the fact that they're even, still trying to take out whatever he can, win whatever skirmish he can.
Oh, exactly. Once again, Firefly overwhelming the numbers on the ground for MacSed. He's pushing up this ramp. Oh my god! Take a
Ooh.
massive stasis trap to the face!
That was such a good bait coming out here from MacSed, baiting out the mass stalkers into one stasis ward by feigning with another. You love to see it.
Yeah, and here we go. We have a mass engagement. Firefly Stalkers are going to get out of stasis in a couple of moments. There we go. They do break on out. It looks like they're going to be able to, the majority of them are going to be able to escape, but oh, 3, 4, 5 Stalkers get picked up.
Yeah, very important moment there for MacSed. Firefly, I once again think he would have been able to kill MacSed straight out with his army advantage, with his supply advantage, but now things are a lot more even. MacSed has the upgrade advantage. He has some Sim City that he can utilize.
Yeah, the biggest advantage that Firefly right now has is his the amount of zealots that he has available to him, and they're doing a great job at buffering, but he just lost every single one of them. We do have a warp in behind this to help reinforce, and it looks like Firefly still may just barely have enough.
Yeah, he's picking off the key units he needs to pick off, not wasting too much time on this zealot buffer, and pretty soon the upgrades are going to even out.
Oh, exactly. But before that happens, once again, Firefly is forced all the way back. MacSed has a massive economic advantage right now. Firefly, he knows his situation. He has to try and come back.
And how do you come back when you are at a economic deficit, when you are in the position that is considered to be behind? You get Dark Templar.
Yeah, there you go. The Dark Shrine is on the way for Firefly. It is a great way to come back in this situation. He's expanding and taking a fourth base towards the northern portion of the map as well, trying to catch up desperately here. MacSed the only way that he can lose this is if he doesn't have the detection he needs. Oh my god!
But it appears that Firefly doesn't have the detection that he needs. As so many of these stalkers are going to get caught into stasis. As Hella is pointing out, yeah, Blink is on cooldown, I think.
Yeah, there we go. We're forced to recall instead, but we're going to lose a lot of stalkers in the process. We do have some oracles available here for MacSed, so he does have revelations, but he doesn't have, I don't believe he has an observer. He may even not have a robot.
He has.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, he has a couple, but they're following the army right over there.
Oh, yeah.
He has one.
There we go. So he does have mobile detection with his army. He even has a cannon here at his fourth base as well. So he's not in too bad of a shape to deal with some DTs.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the army supply difference right now for, I think, the first time MacSed is really starting to eclipse Firefly here. Defensive DTs could definitely help out Firefly, but at this point, I think there's just way too much Protoss here for MacSed.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do have a bit of a zealot run by in the natural base and a drop into the main, so Firefly is dealing a lot of damage across the map. Meanwhile, same can be said here for MacSed.
Yeah, same can be said here for MacSed, but I think to a much greater extent. Once again, I'm looking at that supply difference light, and it is not looking too pretty for Firefly.
It really is, and I think the only chance here for Firefly is he's somehow able to snipe the detection, but no, he cannot. Oh my god!
He bumped!
Oh my god! GG gets called. MacSed takes the game.
And with that, keeps the hopes of Invictus Gaming alive. I forgot to mention it earlier on, but Firefly just needs to win one map here for SSLT to bring it home.
He does, and if MacSed wins this 2-0, we're going to the ace match.
He does. He will, potentially. Let's see. All right. He's got a channel. He's got to channel his inner Smoge.
Man, he's doing anything but smoging right now. He is dancing the night away, and now it's going to be Firefly's map choice. Oh boy, this more defensive style of Firefly didn't really work out for him. It was really odd to see, right? Where he was relying a lot on these kind of mass stalker timings, but because he wasn't able to necessarily end the game or deal crippling damage with them, he was setting himself behind.
For quite some time, yeah. And again, there were definitely a lot of moments where it felt like, Firefly could have ended the game with one foul swoop, but yeah, just was missing a couple of key components that he needed in his attack. There's just something about this map tonight because we have confirmation. Map number 2 is going to be Moondance.
Mate, it's over. Mate, did you see MacSed earlier? He wants to dance.
He does, yeah.
He wants to dance in the moonlight, and Firefly is going to give him the stage to do it on. I don't know if this is a wise choice.
Yeah. Or maybe it is a wise choice. He'll dance there and be mooned.
Oh, you think they're going to have a dance-off? Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna Star Wars connect it up.
We're going to need Firefly to turn on this cam for that. Without a cam, we're not going to be able to see it. Just saying.
I want that to be the ace match.
Oh my god.
Just dance off.
Here we go, mate. Here we go. Is it going to go the way of the camel or the way of the IG? As in the bottom right-hand corner, representing IG, MacSed.
Seconds spare. Hey, coming up in here in the top left-hand corner of the map with the red Protoss player representing SSLT, Star Gavels, Firefly.
Oh boy, this is it. This is where it all comes down. MacSed going to be going for a probe scout across the map. Firefly going to be a little bit more greedy, a little bit more concerned with himself, throwing down his first couple of units before he goes for anything of the sort. So yeah, MacSed just being very, very safe right now. Oh my god.
He gas steals even.
Oh, he's crazy.
All right. CranKy Ducklings assigning their first Chinese player.
There we go. Max said he's going to be a duckling. He knows how to gain favor on this channel. Goes for the gas steal. Oh.
We got our ace. All right. We're getting our ace match. Let's go.
We are. It's over.
A forfeit.
Oh my god. Max said isn't going to go for the Protoss move, which is to mine from the gas, then mine from the minerals, and then mine from the gas. He will just be getting on out of here. But yeah, so far not a bad start. But Firefly, he adapts and he goes for a gate expand.
Interesting. Okay. That's definitely one way of making sure you're not penalized too much for having a lack of gas. You do get a bit of an early zealot here as well for Firefly. But, yeah, not the biggest deal that he's behind a little bit. He's doing the Protoss thing.
He's doing the Protoss thing. He's disgusting. For those wondering, this is something that some of the other races cannot do. Terran can do this, and Protoss can. Zerg not so much, which is you can slowly delete the resources of your opponents if you steal their gas geyser by going back and forth between the minerals and gas, just destroying resources. Oh.
Yeah. Theoretically, Zerg could do it too. You just need to send out 2 drones.
True. You would need to send out 2 drones instead. But for the time being, we do see that MacSed did delay his own Nexus. He's going for a faster Stargate instead. And Firefly, he's going to be the one on the back foot. He's going to be the one looking to try and defend his faster bases.
Like so. We'll see what is in store for him, as MacSed is the first player to tech up. Stargate finishes up just like in game number 1. Seeing a pretty similar dynamic, but there's an interesting pathing from Firefly's probe.
Yeah, he's going to try and come in from a bit of an angle to slip in and get a bit of a scout off. We see 2 more gates on the way as well for Firefly. 3 gates in total, nothing too crazy. As the probe does get found out, is going to get shut down.
Like so. Firefly gonna respond in kind by getting more gateways.
Yeah, just a couple more gateways. This is kind of what we expect at the moment, and we're just kind of waiting to see if MacSed can get a bit of a lead here with his earlier Oracle, but just like game number 1, Firefly's in position, bearing in mind that in game 1, MacSed did open up double Oracle, and they never really paid for themselves. They were able to, really more than anything, they kept Firefly back at home, and what they led to were all those crucial stasis traps.
Yeah, and I'm hoping we see a couple more of them here for MacSed.
Yeah.
It's really going to be key for him. Stalling whatever momentum Firefly might have. But speaking of momentum, I'm surprised that MacSed is going to be the player to get DTs.
Yeah, he's taking a bit of a risk here. So he does keep his oracles alive. Again, he's going to be forcing the attention to be back at home for Firefly because his bases are threatened. And the DT move could end the game. Right now, Firefly has 0 ways of getting detection.
Yeah, I think right now... Yeah, MacSed is playing this out so well. He knows that Firefly is going to be forced to have nothing but gateways at the moment. He can't get tech. He's getting a forge now, but what are cannons going to do? And how long is it going to take to get cannons?
Yeah, so right now, cannons are the only way for Firefly to get detection. He doesn't have a robo. He doesn't have a Stargate either. And cannons aren't the best response for DTs in this situation. Cannons, sure, they're okay, but they're not amazing. And we have a proxy being set up.
Cheeky, very cheeky coming out here from MacSed. The Stasis Ward even pops off once again, so yeah, Firefly not gonna have particularly good defense here. Got a lot of supply, but he can't actually utilize any of it.
Yeah, thankfully for Firefly, Max said his proxy wasn't set up properly. He wasn't set up in time, so we have a slow warping of DTs. This is going to give Firefly a little bit more time to maybe respond and maybe get some detection up and running. But here we go. The first DT is about to reveal itself as it does get into the main.
Yeah, Firefly, if he so wanted to, could just try to body block the DTs until he's able to get the cannons up and running. Now he knows DTs are on the way. Cannons are being built. Pretty good body blocking coming in here, but a lot of probes are going to fall regardless.
Mate, the cannon's not going to finish. It gets targeted down, so both the main and natural forfeit. GG gets called. And the cannons are all you need, mate, as MacSed takes the 2-0. Oh.
Thinking face.
Oh my god.
Just like that. IG is back in this. Not only is IG back in this, but SSLT's ace has been eliminated and will not be able to be revived here for our ace match.
Wait, I think they can revive him.
They can revive him. Yeah. They can revive him.
Oh boy, so GG, well played there by MacSed. Mate, some fighting words there, some fighting moves. Again, sometimes in PvP this happens where DTs just straight up win the game. If you don't have a robo, if you don't have a Stargate, if you don't have detection, it's over.
It's over. It's all over. And now we're getting ready for our ace map.
Here we go. The ace match right now between both of our teams. Which players are they going to pick? IG, they've got like a deeper roster. I feel like they can pick between both Coffee and MacSed. Either one would not be a bad choice.
Yeah, either one of them do excel a little bit in these high pressure scenarios, especially MacSed. I mean, we just saw him get the 2-0 he needed to get to keep his team alive against the favorite player, the ace player of SSLT. And speaking of SSLT, I do feel like Firefly is probably the obvious pick here for them, but maybe that's why they want to avoid him.
Well, like, I would, going into this blind, I would say that Firefly makes the most sense, but after a 2-0 loss, like, what's his mental looking like right now? What's his mindset looking like? Because he may not be the best choice. I would say the same about Coffee. Coffee, his brain was almost broken in his series. Like, he broke his own brain by going BC.
So what you're saying is we need XY.
Maybe. And as we deliberate who we need to come out here in the ace match, mate, Happy New Year. We just crossed over.
Australia and New Zealand and Fiji.
New Zealand, it's been New Year's in New Zealand for an hour already, true, but yes, it has just clocked over into New Year's here in Australia. Welcome to 2023.
But then again, we don't really care about Perth that much. Yes, welcome. It is in fact going to be the year of the bunny coming down here in 2023.
True, I did see Wax Angel talk about that. It's the year of the bunny, and here we go. We have picked our players. It's not quite a rematch, but very interesting picks here.
Yeah, not quite a rematch, but you know, it is the same race matchup that both of our players played. TooDming, a ZVT against XY earlier. Coffee, a TBZ against Silky earlier. Both of these players, I guess the Coffee kind of tied with Silky, but yeah, they are now. We are now going to see what they have in store. They are kind of mirrored players. They have the same exact score, 61, but distributed in different areas.
Yeah, at least according to the admins, they
Yeah,
are.
I mean-
They are. I would actually give Coffee a bit of an edge here, especially on Waterfall. I do think that if the game went to a late game scenario, TooDming would be able to have more success. But I don't think Coffee is going to let the game go on that long. In saying that, Waterfall, I don't think is a good map for BC openers.
Yeah, well, it's a Terran favorite map regardless, so either way, you know.
True. Oh boy, here we go. So we have our players, we have our map. We're just setting up our lobbies here before we dive on in. Which way is this going to go? This is exciting because we honestly don't get ace matches too often in WTL.
We really don't. I mean, I'm just looking over at the bracket right now, or at the group stage right now. I think the last time there was an ace match was, let's see here, over a month ago. Alpha X versus SSLT.
Yeah. Do you remember that? We had the luxury of casting that series. Did go all the way to the ace match, but we'll see how things go here. Oh boy. Yeah, I do think this is difficult to predict, especially because like my eyes are mainly on Coffee. What is he going to bring to the table? How is he going to approach this differently as opposed to his own series? And how is he going to avoid the late game?
My eyes are also on Coffee, but I think for different reasons than yours. Like,
oh my. Do you want to elaborate?
Hoodie.
Oh, okay. We want to see how much of that chest gets exposed on a stream. And oh boy, I'm sure right now he's adjusting his jacket just for that occasion. Players just, adjusting themselves. TooDming, he also, if you remember, he also had a jacket. But he was kind of the opposite of Coffee. He was hiding what was underneath.
He was. This is the yin yang match coming in here. Two opposites.
You know what I need? If TooDming wins this series, if he wins this best of one, I need him to unzip the jacket.
Take off the hat. Throw the hat into the crowd.
Into the crowd, Poppy. Give the people what they want, all right? That's all I'm saying. Oh god, but yeah, it's gonna be a little bit hard to read. Personally, I think I want to give the edge to Coffee, all things considered.
Really? No. I think going into this blind, I would also give the edge to Coffee, but just looking at how his series played out, he did break his brain a little bit. Was smoging quite a bit, but maybe that's a good thing for him. You know, we saw how much more success he had when he kind of turned his brain off on Cosmic Sapphire and just did whatever. 'Tis something that we will have to look out for. Let me look at the predictions that are up right now. Oh, and let me see how many people voted for whom.
I'm gonna predict right now.
Oh,
I have the power.
Oh, I'm gonna predict the opposite then.
Oh boy. So yeah, I think even now the players are just getting ready themselves. And oh my god, in other ways, it's spawning in the top right hand corner of Waterfall. We have representing IG Coffee.
And spawning here over in the bottom left hand corner of the map, but the red Zerg player representing SSLT, the Starving Camels, TooDming. Not TooDming.
Oh. Not TooDming at all. Here we go. The ace match. It's a best of one between these two players. It all comes down to this final map of this match. Oh boy. And oh my god, TooDming is actually much closer to the monitor this time, to the screen.
Yeah.
Coffee slouching back in his chair.
Yeah, this gives us a little bit of a glimpse into the mindset of
Hmm.
our players.
Oh!
TooDming, blinking a bunch.
True. Meanwhile, Yaku, you and I, we saw this come to fruition from a lot of the Korean Terrans and even from Clem himself. We see Coffee going for a 2-racks opener on the low ground.
Yeah, low ground wall, which doesn't seem very common in TVZ, but there is a reason why Coffee is going for this in particular. Those aren't the only barracks he's going to be making this game.
It's possible. It's possible. We've seen macro transitions out of this into 2-1-1s. We've seen all-in transition out of this, like Björn going into a 4-racks 2-base all-in. You do have options available. We should be seeing 3 Reapers made from this. We'll see if we commit into Mass Reaper.
Indeed, we shall. A lot more Reapers are in production right now. TooDming will confirm this. We'll see the double racks on the low ground, and that should be a little bit of a tell, but what he's able to sort of glean from that is to be determined.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, he's been able to scout the start of this, which is the 2-racks opener. TooDming is going to be able to make 6 lings, 2 queens. He's not going to need a spine crawler. He just has to be very careful with his unit control here. He already loses one of his lings, so has to be a little bit careful not to lose too much.
Yeah, likewise, Coffee needs to make sure that he doesn't lose too many Reapers either.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, he only commits to 3 Reapers. We already have add-on production back at home for Coffee.
Yes!
He's making more Raxes.
2 more Raxes to be specific.
Oh my god.
How many Marines?
Oh my god. That is the question. These other 2 Raxes are quite fast here. We should be seeing Stim soon as well. Coffee. He was watching the stream the other day.
Yeah, he was watching Björn.
He was.
It's a lot of Marines that are on the way. Stim just started production. If TooDming, I mean, he knows that it's a 2-racks. He's probably thinking it's a 2-on-1. If he underestimates this and makes a whole ton of Zerglings, too many Zerglings, I would argue, then, well, Gavi's just going to have an absolute field day mowing them down with Marines.
Yeah, what's important, though, there's a lot that's happening right now, and that is the fact that TooDming has actually stayed on 2 bases. Oh my god, he's going to be able to get a full surround. Oh, no! He over-micros a little bit there, gets 2 out of the 3 Reapers. One of them does escape, but TooDming, we need a 3rd base soon. There we go. Finally, he is headed over in that direction.
Yeah, now that he's free from the Reaper harass, he is comfortable enough to expand.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I do think that TooDming also overmade lings here as well. I think he assumed that we were going to have continued Reaper production when we have anything but. So half of these lings honestly could have just been drones.
Yeah, it's either that or, again, he was expecting the medevac follow-up coming in from here.
Yeah, exactly. So TooDming is not in the best position right now. He's spreading creep and his drone count is okay, but the longer this goes on without being scouted, then TooDming, he may even over drone, and if he doesn't get a Baneling, if he doesn't get a Baneling nest, then he's only going to have lings and queens to defend.
Yes, Stim is about to finish up now. It's about 5 more seconds remaining, and once it is, Coffee's going to be stimming across the map.
Yeah, we'll see what he waits for. We do have a factory on the way, so this tells us that I think Coffee wants to wait for a double medevac timing, which, again, if you remember, Björn, he knew time was of the essence. He went immediately as soon as his upgrades were done, and here we go. Coffee is now moving out, but this is spotted by TooDming.
It is, but it's still very, very potent, and it's still arguably critical mass of Marines coming out right now for Coffee. Baneling Nest did just get thrown down, but this is a very short rush distance map. Coffee is going to be coming in with Stim, with Combat Shield, with on top of all of these Marines. At the very least, he should be able to kill this third base.
Yeah, exactly. He gets into the mineral, and the Lings are trying to get what surface area they can. It looks like there may just be enough Zerg here to defend. Lings do all get cleaned up, but there aren't that many Marines remaining.
Yeah, it was a really good use of the choke point there for Coffee, but like you said, with TooDming's scouting, with his diligence there, he was able to group up his queens. That could have been a lot worse for him. TooDming actually still ahead when it comes to the worker count.
Yeah, TooDming's not in a bad place, and now Coffee is going to be hitting with a bit of a follow-up push here, this time with Medivacs, but this push is going to be that much weaker. We're not having that kind of devastating amount of Marines available here for our Terran player, so I don't really know if this push is going to deal anywhere near as much damage.
Well, it's all going to come down to the Banelings, I think, at the end of the day here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as long as Coffee is able to make use of a choke point and has medevacs that have energy on them, he should be able to deal some devastating damage, even as a tank in this push as well. But if TooDming gets even one connection, which should be easier for him to do, since again, there is only one tank, then I don't think Coffee will have... I don't think Coffee will, one, be able to deal enough damage to keep this going, and two, have any longevity in the rest of this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to come down to this timing here, this two-on-one-esque push with the medevac. He does dish out a lot of damage to that hatchery, but he has to break through the army right now. He does actually focus down the base.
Yeah, that's definitely a very good pickup there. 1 health remaining on that medevac, but now with all of these additional lings, there's nothing stopping TooDming from just going across the map like this.
Yeah, it looks like the tank is going to be able to hold the line though, so Coffee does hold on, but he's stuck on 2 bases. He's stuck with an all-in. We do have a 3rd CC that's going to be landing on location though, so he can macro behind this. TooDming himself doesn't really have an amazing drone count. We typically expect him to be on a higher drone count than this. He's been cutting workers here to make more army.
Yeah, as was necessary, but unfortunately for TooDming, well, while his army was able to help him defend a little bit, well, I say that, but he lost that 3rd base. He now needs to find a use for his army, which isn't easy at all to find on Waterfall.
Yeah, this isn't clear cut at the moment. I do think that Coffee's actually not too bad in a position, especially because of that 3rd base. He comes in with another double drop. Is he going to get another kill?
He may, unfortunately, he wasn't quite looking at this double drop. His attention was elsewhere, and with that, TooDming will keep that base alive.
Yeah, he wasn't looking, Poppy. He loses his double drop. We did see a reaction there on camera as well. It is. Oh boy. So yeah, Coffee, I mean, he still has a lot of momentum going his way, don't get me wrong. He's still ahead economically. He's going to be able to hit that 1-1 timing as well. That tank count is getting higher and higher.
Slowly but surely.
Oh boy, as for the time being, 1-1 did finish up. We should be seeing 2-2 soon from Coffee. I don't know if he forgot his armory or not. I would hope he has his... There we go. Yeah, he has his armory. There we go. 2-2 is on the horizon here. It looks like he's going to be chilling at home for the most part with his main army until then. Going to be relying a lot more on drops instead.
Yeah, it looks like we are getting into a bit of a longer game, which is what we want here on the Ace match, especially since it gives the Ducklings a little bit longer to wake up.
I can confirm the Ducklings are waking up.
Ah, there we go, right on New Year's.
Let's go, Poppy. Invictus awake. I can see Eric lurking in the chat.
Yeah.
Eric's awake as well, and Dolan. Fala, galera. And Dolan is awake as well, so you love to see them. They're going to be getting ready for their own respective matches. We have some time to have some breakfast and get some food. Meanwhile, speaking of getting some food, Coffee, he wants some of that Zerg. He's pushing on forward here. Has to be careful. What am I shot?
Ooh, nice split at the end there from TooDming, but just 1 second too late. A lot more lings went down than necessary.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So not a bad connection there at all here for Coffee. We do see him trying to trickle in a couple of Marines there for some Baneling connection. So not a bad trade at all from Coffee. We do see him ramping on up, getting ready for a massive push. He has 69 workers.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty nice.
What?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay.
I see it so clearly. But so does TooDming, so... Which is why he avoids.
There's another one. There's another mine.
Mine in the back.
Oh god! It looks like it's not going to be. It's not going to be going off. Meanwhile, the drop here on the right hand side gets cleaned up as well. TooDming is looking to threaten that 4th.
Ooh, that was a juicy mine hit. Oh, connected with a lot of those lings, but there's still enough to keep this push going, at least until the army came in to reinforce that.
exactly. Just needs a little bit more time. 3-3 is on the way. Lunkerden is on the way from TooDming. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where I'm pretty sure Coffee never intended the game to get into the late game, because that's where TooDming really thrives. And based off of the openers, I think that's correct. You know, Coffee was very clearly looking to end the game early. The longer this goes on, I don't know if he wants to or even can deal with those lunkers.
Well, I don't think it's possible to deal with those lunkers.
Oh boy, yeah, we'll see how many.
Like,
We'll see how many of them come out. For the time being, you know, Coffee is not trading too badly here. He's going to force TooDming to respond. This hatchery is going to be going down.
yeah, it's one of those things that theoretically should be done, but you never really see it in a TVZ.
Oh.
Coffee just had all of his Marauders for it to tank every single Baneling shot there.
Yeah, very, very efficient trades from Coffee. He gets the hatchery in the end. He saves a lot of his army as well in these medevacs. And TooDming still hasn't made a wave of Hydras. So even though he has Groove Spines, even though he has his Lurker upgrades, he actually can't make use of them. Oh.
Yeah, not quite yet. Another really good... Well, I was going to say a really good engagement for Coffee here because he barely lost any of his army, but he still loses that Planetary Fortress in the end. Thankfully, there is a CC on the way that should be able to float over.
Yeah, we should see it floating over soon. Meanwhile, TooDming also needs to get a hatchery up and running on the right-hand side as well. He's been contained to 4 bases. He needs a 5th sooner rather than later. He has a really good drone count, but he doesn't have a bank because he doesn't have those bases.
Yeah. Every single time the bases have been denied here for Coffee. So many drones are going to go down as well. TooDming still has a respectable 82 drone count, but he just doesn't have the bases that can take advantage of that nice bit of friendly fire there. But even then, it's not going to be enough here for TooDming to chase these Marines back.
Yeah, exactly. TooDming needs a little bit more time for these Banes to finish up, and there we go. It looks like he's going to be able to finally force this back. Still committed to the Mass Ling Bane as a response here, but he needs another base desperately, and Coffee is not giving him that. He's not giving him the time.
None whatsoever.
God. Oliveira is not here for TooDming. He is here for Coffee as he's pushing on forward. You do have a little bit of a ling run by across the map, but he's going to run into a planetary.
Just like so. Okay, well, apparently not quite yet. The wall is, in fact, the wall, and reinforcements for Coffee are able to deal with that run by very, very easily. Look at that supply difference now, Light, especially when it comes to the army supply.
Oh. Exactly. Like, again, TooDming had a decent worker count for a long time. He just wasn't able to keep his bases alive. Those Marauder hit squads from Coffee were insane. They could not be stopped. And even though a bunch of resources were spent on those Lurker upgrades, we have both of them at this point. We don't have any on the field. 8 Hydras were just made, but is this too late? Is the supply differential a little bit too much?
Yeah, I mean, even if all of these Hydras, or rather I should say, the best case scenario here for TooDming is if all of those Hydras got turned into Lurkers, but I don't think he has the gas for it. He's making 1 Lurker right now because that's all he can afford. And even that's going to be cancelled.
It probably will be. I mean, yeah, there we go. We do have the cancel on that 1 Lurker. Hydras are trickling on in, but it's not going to be enough. The Bio Army is pushing on forward here. Coffee, after a rocky start, after his initial build, his 4 racks push failed. He's been able to slowly claw his way back in. The hatchery, though, barely gets saved.
And is that going to be enough for TooDming to limp by with his economy? We shall see.
Oh my god, Coffee's even getting ready with a Ghost Academy, an academy that he doesn't even need right now. Just Marine, Marauder, Mine, Medevac is all he needs. Banelings are rolling on in. They do get some decent connections on those mines, but what about the Marines?
Not quite. Some very nice kiting coming out from Coffee, as well as some target firing too. Doesn't have a lot of mines to retreat back to anymore, though.
Oh, he really does not. We do have 2 Lurkers morphed in, but we have the scans. We have the concave, I think, just barely up. 1 Lurker goes down.
2 Lurkers go down, and I was really doubting whether or not that Bio was going to be able to take out the Lurkers, but Coffee, he's a good dancer. He was able to take him down. A lot of Lings are being bled out in this choke point. TooDming, I can see it in his face. He's looking down a little bit. He knows that his chances are not looking good.
Yeah, it was a close game. There was some back and forth here, but in the end, he has been broken. He wasn't able to get to the army composition that he really wanted. He does have 4 bases, don't get us wrong, but his worker count isn't ideal. He's got 3-3, but he's trying to make lurkers work right now, and unfortunately, they're lacking those range upgrades. Coffee is going to give him a little bit of breathing room, though. Coffee is backing off.
Well, he's backing off to regroup with the rest of his army.
Yeah.
That's over double the supply of TooDming. Both of them are on 3-3, but yeah, Coffee's army is just so much more sophisticated. It synergizes so much better. If we're both on mid-game tech, well, you gotta favor the Terran player.
You gotta favor the Terran, mate. Here we go. We have the tanks, we have the mines, the Marines, the Marauders, and the Ghosts. And what is he up against? Nothing is left. GG gets called. And Coffee, he does it for himself, does it for his family, does it for his team.
IG will be defeating SSLT, once again putting them back on top when it comes to this rivalry in particular. You know, they did go very much back and forth, but it all started with Code A, where IG was able to very narrowly beat SSLT, and now that still remains. GG.
Yes. GG.
Family.
It was a very close series. It could have gone the way of SSLT. TooDming wasn't looking too bad in that series, but was struggling to hold on to some bases. Meanwhile, we have an ad for the gift box.
Yeah!
There's Mix.
Mix the little mix button. You get the player cards going on there. You got some red packets because Lunar New Year is coming up. So you know, just give that to your nieces and nephews.
True. So if you're in the chat, if you want to support World Team League, if you want your own CranKy Duckling stickers, CranKy Duckling merch, and even Vindicta badges, then they are available if you do get that WTL gift bag.
There's the link for that. Art book coming in here and slash date.
Oh, let's mix! Did you see it? Let's go!
There's coffee. Conveniently skipping over all of Kaizi and Psystorm and Shopify.
That was beautiful.
What is this? Like whatchamacallit? For DPG.
Oh well, they were last year's champion.
Yeah, I know they were the 3-time champions, but I mean, what is this product in particular?
I didn't. It's a book of the badges.
Ratata's there, Solar, but Mix is of course the most handsome.
Yeah, Captain America himself, Miguelito. Oh my God, we even have the duckling on the shield.
I wish I paid more attention in primary school to Mandarin, because I want to know what they're talking about here.
Sexy boy!
Rogue! The stand-up card is over there.
Oh my God. He has his own emotes.
He does have his own emotes coming in there, I believe, on the SC Boy channel.
The mouse mat.
Mouse mat. Oh, I need to get that.
Yeah.
It's a modern. Is that
a train ticket? I don't know. I think that's SC Boy, yeah.
Why is
player cards.
Player
Mix, that's a player card.
Oh, you love it. It is in fact a train ticket. Kuro is confirming that for us. I love that Max Packs is just Sartanis.
Yeah, and there are the stickers.
Stickers. Oh, you can put that on your laptop.
Why is the duckling upside down?
Red packets, give that to your nieces and nephews this Lunar New Year. Mask.
Yeah, face masks as well. Stay away from people this Lunar New Year's.
Luggage? Question mark?
Luggage bag? I think it all comes in this. It all comes in like
right, yes. Yeah, it comes in the luggage.
Oh,
they pack it.
Yeah. Oh. Beautiful.
It comes with the luggage, yeah. So then you can pack the luggage with your clothes and use the train ticket.
Oh, it's Diego.
Means everything. And if you're looking to show some extra love to us, Make sure to check out the super cool WTL gift box, which directly supports the Team League. Thank you.
Hello, if you're a fan of the World Team League and you're enjoying watching the games, consider buying the World Team League gift box. It'll help support the league, and it'll allow you guys to keep watching for the next season and seasons to come, and for me to keep playing. And it also has some cool stuff in it, so if you've been enjoying and you want to support, please buy the gift box.
Oh, it's white chicks. It is. And I miss you. Why are we listening to white chicks?
That's not the name of the song.
我在
Will do,
上次
Payton.
输掉ESL 的分站赛之后，那个时候我意识到，我其实真的是让很多人失望了，也让很多人心寒了。我自己
I think because I'm pretty sure this is cutting into the break. So should we just I think maybe we should. Yeah. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes for our next series here. Enjoy these videos and these messages from the other teams.
Yeah. When we return, we will have a different matchup. It is going to be GP versus GGG.
See you then.
Yeah.
但是 WTL 对我来说其实很特殊，因为在 WTL 上面我完成了自己一直没有完成的愿望，就是能在 S 站上面为战队赢下来，拿到这个冠军。我在 WTL 之前的赛事，其实每次一到 S 站，我好像都输了，当时，然后让自己的队伍跟冠军错失交臂。所以 WTL 对我来说真的很特殊。然后也非常感谢大家能购买战队礼包，也感谢大家一路以来的支持。不管未来的路怎么样，至少在我打职业的这一段期间，在打星际争霸2的这段时间，我真的感觉星际争霸的观众还有我们都真的跟一个大家庭一样，互帮互助。在这里再一次感谢大家，谢谢。